Music licensing reimagined. Long time coming, like on the bottom of my feet from running. Cataracts under my eyes from hustling. Going from buying to selling to customers. Run up the business, God is my witness. Turn up the sun up from under the sun that we maxing the limits. My mind running like Tom Cruise on an action movie. Moving a mission, they say that I'm tripping. I've been told I need a vacation, I'm finessing a visit.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers and welcome to Stat Diggers for UFC Macau. Why does it say round one down there? We gotta fire our producer. There we go. Brady Weezy down below. There we go. We're back after a week off, a much well-needed week off. We had like 50 cards in a row, it felt like. Took a nice week off. We are back. We are refreshed. We are rejuvenated. And we are looking forward to UFC Macau, a card that, first look, Weezy, I was like, dang, this stinks.
Yeah.
I'm not waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning for this card, but after researching it and diving deep, there are a lot of spots sticking out, and I do think these are going to be some fun fights, and I'm looking forward to being back. So what is up, Weezy? How was your week off? Are you looking forward to UFC Macau?
Yeah, the week off was much needed. As you know, 14 weeks in a row with no breaks is bananas, and I was still doing a bunch of stuff behind the scenes looking to upgrade the visual presentation of our stats going forward. And I'm very close to finishing those solutions, Brady. So hopefully something for next week for UFC Vegas 118. You're going to see a much upgraded visual presentation of the data here on Stat Diggers going forward. So got some good stuff done there. Spent some time with the girlfriend, got a little bit of extra sleep, got some exercise. I'd like to wish a happy Memorial Day to all the veterans out there, Brady. I know that you're from a military family. My dad was in the Army, so yeah, this is a great holiday for all the people to celebrate the people that served our country. So shout out to everybody out there that's got military family, that's been in the military. Thank you for your service. And, this is us doing our service here for UFC Macau. But, it was the same thing with me, man. I looked at it and I was like, really? Like, we're going to get a week off and this is what we're coming back to? This is terrible. But turns out the matchmaking is pretty good. Like these lower level fights, when I researched them, I'm thinking to myself, wow, the matchmakers did a pretty good job here. There's some good young, exciting fighters matching up, interesting stylistic matchups, some good violent fights too. And yeah, we're going to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do it, Brady. So let's get into it, man. Like, it's going to be a fun card to discuss. And I think that there's going to be some fun fighters to talk about in this card too, man.
What do you think? You making the fight companion for 4 o'clock? What do you think?
I'm going to try, dude. I'm definitely going to try. Why not?
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun card. We made it last time. It's just a little bit. I'm hoping it gets down to like 12 or 11 fights because, when you're there for 7 hours, that's brutal.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, if they were to take off a fight, like, what fight would I want them to take off? And quite frankly, I don't know. Like, I'm believe it or not, I'm looking forward to, like, every single fight. I mean, I guess I don't, maybe the Vera Congier fight. I don't know. I'm looking forward to all these fights, actually, believe it or not.
I am too.
So, yeah, we'll be there 4 o'clock in the morning. We did Perth, and I felt pretty dang good during Perth. Just it's the aftermath that gets you.
Yeah,
it's the aftermath. I felt that I'm still feeling that, actually. I'm still feeling UFC Perth. I don't know how people on the other side of the world do it, Weezy, but all credit to them. And all credit to our sponsors. The first sponsor is going to be Underdog Fantasy. Right now, if you go to Underdog and use code DFSBTN, you will get $50 free in bonus funds when you play with your first $5 lineup. Thank you, Underdog Fantasy, for keeping the show alive. And thank you to the Big Brain MMA Discord. Shout out to the Big Brain MMA Discord and shout out to Big Steve for sponsoring the show. Go check out his Discord to gain access to a community with tons of sharps doing various different sports, various different MMA promotions, boxing, you name it. He's got it all. Also, check out the Big Brain MMA podcast on YouTube, where Big Steve gives an early look into the card each week and also does a final look video late in the week as well. The links to both of those will be in the description below. The link to Underdog will be in the description below as well. Check out our sponsors. Thank you guys for keeping the show alive. And let's hit up the chat, Weezy. Let's see how you guys have been doing over the week off. Hopefully, you guys had a good week off. Memorial weekend was fun. Lots of activities. We got Canada Chief Chris in the building. What's up? Brandon Weezy saving the day. Happy Memorial Day to all my American friends and family. Appreciate you, my guy. Good to see you in here. We got Elijah one in here. We got the GOAT in here as well. Gabriella in the building. What is up? Brandon Weezy, first of all, welcome back. I just wanted to let you all know that I've dusted off the old Jack LaMarine McDonald's profile pic and have it on standby in case we need it after this Saturday. And yeah, we could need it after this Saturday. Yeah. We'll find out, and we'll find out nice and early because Jack LaMarine versus Luma Luke Boomy is kicking off the card. We got Gabe in the building. What's up, studs? What's up, Gabe? We got Ver. Good to see you in here. Good evening to you as well. Niles Island. Good to see you. Late? No, we were not. We were, if anything, we were early tonight. I thought, but yeah, we were definitely early. We got Carlos. I mean, UFC had no card last week, so if anything, the UFC gave energy to boxing. Yeah, there were a lot of promotions kind of going on over the weekend. I saw Aiden Ross did his little promotion. It was like Johnny Manziel versus what's his face? I don't know, but I didn't get to watch it. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on over the weekend. No, we started on time. I don't know what we're talking about. This must have been one of their have fun vids, so they're prepping some jokes. There might be some jokes here and there. We'll have to find out. Taliesin Teixeira is a chump. I mean, you might be onto something, man. I mean, if you're a black belt and you can't submit Tai Tuivasa in a dominant position for 4.5 minutes, maybe he's the chump, Weezy. I don't know. Is he onto something here?
He might be onto something because it wasn't a good look for Louis Sutherland to essentially out-grapple Taliesin Teixeira in comparison when they both fought Tai Tuivasa. And they both fought the washed version of Tai Tuivasa. And a guy in Sutherland who most of his losses we saw came as a result of him getting out-wrestled. He was out there like Waldo Cortez Acosta in the Spain fight, looking like Jordan Burroughs out there against Tai. So yeah, I don't know, man. Our guy, they call me the guy that I'm the fraud whisperer. I can usually smell a fraud, and our guy Barry McCockner, he can definitely smell a chump.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree with him most times. He's out there calling Francis Ngannou a chump. No, Francis Ngannou is not a chump, man. But maybe you're onto something here. Get Brady a break. He's on double duty tonight. Just did Clint's show. Yes, I was on with Clint on the Die Hard MMA podcast. We went about 2 hours. I'm assuming me and Weezy are going to go about around 2.5 hours, maybe. We need a 6-hour show to prep for UFC Macau. Yeah, I tend to agree. UFC in the Vegas of China. Let's go. Let's get it. I'm looking forward to it. Tell a friend we're live. Agreed. Yeah, like the video, subscribe, and share it out. Why not? We are so back. Hate the card time though. Yeah, it's brutal, dude. It's absolutely brutal. The last time they were in China, I think for the Figueiredo Yan fight, I did not watch it live. I woke up and kind of skimmed through a couple of fights and watched the fights I wanted. But yeah, this time I'll probably be watching them live, which is crazy. No breaks ever again. Well, I got some bad news. We're gonna have another break in 5 weeks, Weezy. 5 weeks. There we go.
That is not bad news for me.
Yes, there we go. Breaks are for pussies.
Uh-oh.
No, they're not for pussies, man. I mean, when you break down a fight, I mean, we break down one fight probably 10 to 15 times per week. And then there's 12 to 13 fight. We're talking about the same fight. So there's so much work that goes into this. So we need a break here and there. We're back. We are back. Yes, sir. Good to have Stat Dig Monday back. Yes. Agreed. 3 underdog signups and Uncle Weezy will place a half-unit bet on the Carlston Harris money line.
It's a deal. I'm a huge fan of Carlston Harris, huge fan of Guyana. Guyana stand up. So, yeah, that if we get 3 underdog signups, I will be tracking a half-unit bet on the great Carlston Harris to come back, find an anaconda choke against one Jake Matthews.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, he's been front choked twice, once by Anthony Rocco Martin and once by Neil Magny. So, I mean, it wouldn't be the most atrocious bet in the world by any means. So, yeah, three signups. Why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
Why not? Brady, did you see my ice cage fight? What?
Oh, yeah, dude. Fucking Fialho made some dude quit like halfway through the second round. Some dude from Finland quit in his ice cage fight. You know what a huge fan of ice cage I am, though.
What is ice cage?
Oh, dude, it's like better than UFC. You know, it's like the top regional scene promotion right now. Really, they're getting some really top-notch fighters over there, like Andre Fialho, who just got a big win. Brady, he broke the losing streak.
I'll have to check it out. I mean, good. Did he? So he got a finish, Fialho?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Right.
And not only that, he made his opponent say mate. You know, he made him quit in there.
Oh, that's the best. I like when people make fighters quit. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like
just
that.
like Frank Dukes in the Kumite. He made him quit, dude. It was sweet.
Yeah, I like when that happens. It's like showering with clothes on. Oh, yeah. That card wasn't great, to be honest. I think this card's going to deliver, though. We got Deep Insider saying, I wish I could do more. Chat, have my back. Thank you. Hey, appreciate that so much, man. 199. Appreciate that, my guy. Barry McCockiner, a.k.a. Deep Insider, calling it to share a chump. We're going to find out if he's a chump after he fights Pavlovich this weekend. And yeah, Anthony Rockamore, he did go to prison for something. I forget for what. But
I don't think he killed anyone. What I think he did was he punched out a security guard on the floor of the casino and then pissed all over the floor.
Yeah, that'll get you some jail time there.
It will get you jail time, but I also want to state that's kind of a baller move too.
Yeah, he pissed on the floor. Yeah.
Like like life is about risks and when you take them. And, sometimes, there's that fine line that lies between daredevil and dumbass. But, sometimes whipping out your dick in the casino and pissing on the floor is the statement that has to be made at that time, So I don't know. I wasn't there, so I don't know if Rocco was in the right or not, but that's what I know that he did wrong.
I mean, yeah, pissing on the floor is a lot less bad than killing somebody, so that's
exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you can't blame them there. What is good? What is up, everybody? Solution KC, what's good? All right, we are going to get right into it. We're not going to do a recap because I forget who even fought a couple weeks ago.
It was well, I know Malcolm Wellmaker lost me 5 units, but I lost 5 units. I lost 5 units betting on Malcolm Wellmaker.
No,
so
it's never.
I lost 4.2 units last week. Backing Wellmaker was a huge mistake, but it was my fault. I put a lot of units on him, so it is what it is. But yeah, what was the main event? I forgot.
I don't remember what I had for dinner last night.
Yeah. Wow. So we had
I couldn't tell you, dude.
Duo Choi versus Santos was the co-main. I remember that.
Oh, it was Arnold Allen. Yeah, Arnold Allen. There we go.
Oh, yeah, Arnold Allen. Yeah. I won a little money on him. I won a little money on Duo Choi. I won a little money on, Ketlin Vieira, the Renegade.
She got cut.
Gets cut? What?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's just really expensive to keep handsome fighters on the roster. I don't know, but that's a wild situation there.
Yeah,
they're a top 3 in the division, and they're cutting her.
Yeah, it's dumb. But at the same time, let's be honest, her fights are pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, I think we know that's why they did it, but it still doesn't make sense. I mean, they signed Yisak Lee to the UFC. I mean, that guy got a contract,
but he's a fun fighter. Yisak Lee, he'll get after it.
Get after what?
it Weezy. He's gonna get after it. But all right, let's get into it, guys. We're gonna kick it off with. And no, we're not going to abolish it. We're about to talk about some WMA. We're going to talk about Loma Luke Boomy going against Jacqueline Amarim. Right now, Weezy, it is a pick'em. And I saw that Amarim opened up like minus 250 or something. I was like, holy crap, dude. I know. I was like, how are you about to open up somebody minus 250 that has 5 minutes of cardio? And then the line completely got obliterated instantly. And I think a pick'em's about right here. But we'll start with Loma. Loma's 30 years old, 5'1" with a 61-inch reach. Amarim is 30 years old, 5'3" with a 67.5-inch reach. We got same age there. Loma 2 inches shorter, and she's going to be at a pretty big 6.5-inch reach disadvantage. Loma Luke Boomy is 4-1 in her last 5 fights. Decision win against Denise Gomes, submission win against Elise Reed, decision win against Bruna Brazil, decision win against Estela Nunez, and a decision loss to Alexa Thayanara. As far as Jacqueline Amarim, 4-1 in her last 5 fights, a knockout win against Montserrat Ruiz, submission win against Corey McKenna, submission win against Vanessa Demopoulos, submission win against Pauliana Viana, and then a decision loss to Mizuki Inoue. So, yeah, I mean, after looking at the fight, it's like, I mean, Jacqueline Amarim was just minus 500, and now she's a pick'em to Loma, who I like Loma. I've backed Loma a lot, but at the end of the day, Weezy, she's an atomweight. She's very small for the division, and I'm watching some of these fights, and it's like, oh gosh, she's getting put in some bad spots by Denise Gomes. She's getting put into some really bad spots by Alexa Thayanara, which is no shame in that. But I went back and watched the Elise Reed fight, and it's like she gets reversed by Elise Reed, gets her back taken, and Elise Reed's like threatening a choke towards the end of the first round. I'm like, oh gosh. I mean, if Jacqueline Amarim gets Loma down early, it's gonna get interesting, Weeds, because Jacqueline, her grappling's very good. I was impressed with what I saw in the Demopoulos fight. Who Demopoulos, say what you want about her, but she's a black belt. She's super tough, and she submitted her in the first round. Corey McKenna, very, very good grappler. She submitted Corey twice in the fight. She made Corey tap. The ref says, stop. And then he's like, never mind. And he's like, what? And then Jacqueline submits her again. So it's like she's very dangerous in the first round. But as the fight goes on, her cardio is very bad. I don't want to say she has like quit in her, but when things aren't going away, she just looks off. I mean, the Sam Hughes fight looked awful. Against Mizuki anyway, it looked awful. So, yeah, I think Jacqueline's very live here to get an early submission. But if this fight gets extended, it's going to get ugly. I think a pick'em is about right, but I think Jackie has the opportunity to look like a massive favorite in hindsight here. So I kind of lean her way, but I would much rather attack a prop like Amarim has a 100% finish rate. I think I'd rather take like an under 2.5 rounds or something, or like a sub prop or something. But yeah, I'm kind of leaning Amarim actually. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, it's a tricky one because Amarim is worthless after 5 minutes, completely worthless. I don't think she's won a minute after 5 minutes of a fight. And
she did against Montserrat and
oh, that's right. Right.
What's her face?
Pauliana, she got her in the second, right?
Yeah. But yeah, outside of that, yeah, true.
Yeah, so and like obviously Pauliana Viana is about as worthless as it gets. And Montserrat Ruiz is worse than Pauliana Viana, so she didn't gas out in those fights. But if you've got a pulse like Sam Hughes does, and even if you don't have a pulse, even if you're like a walking Frankenstein, the Japanese version that's been held together by duct tape and is on a 3-year layoff, you can actually go out there and out-grapple Jacqueline Amarim. It's crazy because when Amarim was in LFA on the come up, she was knocking girls out on the feet. She was getting submissions early, and it was like brutal. She was getting submissions in different ways. Everything was round one, just running through everybody that they're putting in front of her. And, there's the Sam Hughes fight, and that one doesn't go her way. She almost has Sam submitted in round number 1, but then is completely done after 1 round. And I mean, I backed Amarim bigly against Mizuki. Mizuki was on a 3-year layoff, had 4 knee surgeries over the last 4 years. And I'm not like embellishing that. That's a fact. This, every picture that you had seen of Mizuki, she was like in a body cast for the last 3 years and goes out there and just bodies Amarim for the full 3 rounds. Like, it was embarrassing. I remember that was a card that started at like 4 a.m., Brady. And I remember waking up at like 8 and then just like going to check the stats and being like, wait, what? She got 30-27 by Mizuki? I couldn't believe it, dude. I just could not believe it. Mizuki has some of the worst takedown defense in the UFC too. So it was like free that she was going to be able to get some top time and have a chance to find dominant positions early in that fight, which is what she did. but she obviously, like I say, she's worthless after 5 minutes. So, I think that if Jackie doesn't get the submission early in this fight, she's not going to be able to get takedowns. And if she tries to pull guard against Loma, Loma's probably just going to stand back up. So, yeah, I think it's either going to be Jackie early or Loma late. I could see a Loma decision. I think Loma round 3 decision would probably be the way to play her line, because she's not going to have a lot of early finish upside here. But she could certainly win this fight late because Amorim gasses, and she could win a decision just by staying out of bad grappling positions in rounds 2 and 3 when Amorim doesn't really offer anything on the feet. So yeah, that's the way I'm seeing this one. I kind of feel like Amorim's a busted prospect. She hasn't improved anything. She's literally the same fighter that she was when she made her MMA debut. Her conditioning still sucks. Her wrestling still sucks. Her striking still sucks. And she'll flop on her back and every time she can't get a takedown. So, I don't know what we can really expect out of Jackie other than an early first-round submission here.
Yep. That's why I kind of like the under rather than playing the money line at -110. Covers, I think, all Amorim's equity, and then covers maybe like a Loma late finish. But I'm surprised it's not a better number. Like, this is a strawweight fight, and Loma's been to decision like in 9 out of 10 freaking fights. So
yeah,
they're not giving us a discount on violence. They're very sharp there. But yeah, -110 pick 'em, and I think that makes sense. But I kind of feel like the winner is going to look like a big favorite in hindsight. Either Amorim snaps her arm off, or Amorim gasses out and looks horrible like in the her last fight. So
yeah,
we shall see. Malcolm Lawmaker needs all the help. Can't wait to fade that guy. Yeah, it's bad. It's time for her OnlyFans to shine. Which one of these ladies has OnlyFans?
Ketlin Vieira.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Yikes.
Maybe that's why she got cut. Maybe they were like, I'm just no.
Yeah, that's bad. Brady Weezy, is it not obvious here that we have to bet the cheater Amorim? Cheating is plus EV in 2026. No, and even in the Sam Hughes fight, Sam Hughes cheated big time. I mean, Amorim had a fully locked in rear naked choke, and she was grabbing in the inside of the gloves, and and Sam Hughes did not get punished there, and Amorim grabbed the inside of the glove of the Demopoulos fight.
Yes.
Yeah, you can cheat. Amorim all day. Yeah, potentially. We'll see. I've been waiting 2 weeks tonight. Let's pipe up the like button and sign up Underdog using the promo code. Let's do it, man. Let's get those signups. Hannah Goldie put up a better fight against Bazooki than Amorim did. I'm on Loma. Yeah, Hannah Goldie also is on that OnlyFans. I think she does a very good job on there as well. Luke Whitman has only been submitted once in her career. Yes, she has. She has only been once. Please don't disrespect the OnlyFans queen, Hannah 24K Goldie. I agree. Trusting Luke Boomy after that Nunez fight was questionable. Oh, that was so bad. She was like -600 there, and she's getting out-grappled by Estela Nunez, who Estela has like 5 minutes of cardio too. So that was a bad. I was looking at the tape. There were so many bad looks on the Loma side. Like, she's getting out-grappled in all these fights. So I think Amorim has a shot here. Pretty sure she robbed Estela. Yeah, I think I scored the fight for Estela. And like I said, Loma was like -600 or something. It was crazy. Can't hear Loma without my brain going straight to Lomachenko. Yeah. Brady, a great singer because he is the reincarnate of the lead singer of the Animals. Who's that, Wheezy?
So that Eric Burden is his name, and he's a really good singer.
I'll have to check him out.
Really good singer. And yeah, the Animals were huge in the late 50s, early 60s.
Wow.
You would recognize some of their songs though, because they've been played for that long.
Really? 50s and 60s. I'd recognize. Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Big ups to the lead singer of the Animals. Heck yeah.
I shouldn't say 50s. They were more the 60s, but still, I mean, like, yeah, they've got a lot of really popular songs, the Animals.
There we go. Loma subbed by a man. Who'd she get?
I don't know who subbed Loma. Let me look.
It was a long time ago. Was it a man?
Our guy JB knows what the hell he's talking about. So let's look. Let's see. The loss was against Suanan Unsorn. Oh shit!
That is a man.
Yeah, that's a dude.
That's not a female. That's not a woman.
It looks like Cameron Smotherman.
No, it doesn't. Come on. It does not look like Cameron
It
Smotherman.
looks like the Asian version of Cameron Smotherman, man. I'm calling it right now, dude.
I gotta pull this up. I gotta pull it up. Oh gosh.
Come on.
Does not look like Cameron Smotherman, dude. Oh, but yeah, that's not a female. It's just not a female.
I know.
So yeah, and we could forgive her for getting subbed by Suwon Boonshorn, right?
And that was when back. That was what year was
2018,
that?
right?
Yeah, and she was a pure Muay Thai fighter back then, so that was almost 10 years ago. I mean, obviously her grappling has gotten a lot better since then.
Yeah, so we can forgive her for getting subbed by Suwon Boonshorn for sure.
Yeah.
But let's how do you share this screen here? Where's our producer at? What do we pay this guy for? There we go. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next fight. It is going to be. Are we talking about the Saruya fight next?
No, the Kangji Zhu versus Rodrigo Vera. Go the other way.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
I'm all over the place. There we go. All right. Here we go. We got Zhu Congier going against Rodrigo Vera. We got Zhu, who is 30 years old, 5'8" with a 70-inch reach. Vera, 30 years old, 5'7" with a 67-inch reach. Same age there. Zhu with a 1-inch height advantage and a 3-inch reach advantage. Zhu is 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He had a couple fights on Road to UFC. I think 3 of them went 3-0. 2 of those being split decisions. And as far as Rodrigo Vera, he is 5-0 in his last 5 fights, and he has taken this fight on somewhat short notice. I think it was supposed to be Zhu versus Ramon Tavares. Tavares had to pull out at in-steps Rodrigo Vera. So, yeah, so this is it's another pick'em. We're starting off the card easy with back-to-back pick'em. This is one that I'm a lot less confident in. I think this fight is going to be a very, very close fight here. And I actually think this fight can look a little bit like Zhu's last couple fights where people are humping his leg and taking him down. He's been taken down 20 times in his last 2 Road to UFC fights. He fought that guy Shin Horiguchi. He attempted like 33 takedowns in that fight, which was crazy. And watched a lot of Rodrigo Vera, and he does a lot of wrestling in his own right. He's going to come forward. He's a marauder. He's going to look to get the fight down to the ground. So I kind of think this fight's going to play out a little bit similar like these last 2 fights where Vera's going to be getting takedowns. Zhu's going to be trying to work his way back up. And I actually liked what I saw from the striking of Zhu when the fight is on the feet. Zhu's going to be the hometown guy. And in a close fight, I'm going to lean his way, but a lot of money's coming in on him. Zhu opened up plus 210, and it's been steadily money coming in on Zhu. And I would tend to agree. Out of pick'em, I don't have much interest, but I think it's going to be a very, very close fight here. Weezy, you seen it any other way? You have confidence in one side here?
I think I like Vera here. But the long trip to China bothers me for him. The short notice bothers me. Those are 2 things that I don't think are going to work in his favor here. And I like Zhu's moment winning, man. This guy hits really hard at distance striking range. Clean, crisp striking, good power, 12-0 to the knockout as a professional. And I think a lot of those knockouts come early in fights, Brady. So this guy is very dangerous. And he's also 9-3 to the decision. So you can grapple this guy. And frankly, I thought he lost the Horiguchi fight. The rounds 1 and 2 of that fight were very close. Round 3 was not close. Horiguchi really kind of put it on Kangji in round number 3 there. So I felt like the Ando guy was a complete bum that he beat. I don't even think he beat Horiguchi. And then I still have to watch the fight against the stalker, Benji. But I don't know what to think of Kangji's minute winning ability. I think he's going to be landing big shots on the feet, but I think Vera can wrestle. And you know what I noticed about Vera while I was just kind of like checking the boxes while I was watching him fight was I like this guy's conditioning. I like this guy's boxing. I like this guy's volume. I like this guy's wrestling. This guy's tough. He can take a punch. It looks like he does everything pretty well, and he continuously does mix in the wrestling in his fights. So I think he's got more ways to win this fight. He's certainly the guy who's fought the better brand of competition as a professional, in my opinion. So I'm leaning to the Vera side here. He was listed as a Pitbull Brothers guy, but I'm pretty sure Rodrigo's been fighting at been training at Shoot to Box Diego Lima. So I don't know if anybody in the chat knows for
That's
sure.
what they were saying on the announcer were saying that, but yeah, I saw Pitbull Brothers too on Tapology and stuff.
Yeah, and I saw it on Tapology and on Sherdog, and I was like, okay, they're saying Pitbull Brothers, but they were saying it during the recent fights that he had the Shoot to Box Diego Lima guys in his corner. So I'm not sure which camp he's been at, but yeah, Vera's 21 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. It's a very impressive record. And like I said, I don't really see any weak spots in this guy's game. So I'm leaning to the Vera side because I think he's the better fighter all around. And I don't think he really has much in the way of weaknesses that are going to be able to be exploitable. But Kang Ji-Ju hits very hard, and he's accurate when he lands. So I do think that he's going to have a chance to find early moments in this fight and potentially get a knockout.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the hands of Zhu when he gets the chance to, but people are humping his leg, man. And
and you can tell why. You know, not a lot of guys in that part of the world have the kind of power that this guy does at 145. So I think, you know, if I were fighting this dude, I'd be wrestling him too, man.
Yeah, his hands are clean, but he's definitely going to get his leg humped here as well. But he's used to it. He's used to getting humped, so he'll be ready. But yeah, Zhu opened up plus 210, currently minus 105. Vera opened up minus 250, currently minus 115. So back-to-back fights where a fighter opened up as a big favorite. Monies came in as a straight pick 'em 2 fights in a row. The over 2.5 is minus 250. The under 2.5 is plus 107. That's the type of under I wish we were getting for the Amarine fight. Yeah, give me plus 207 for a strawweight fight. But yeah, I think this goes to decision. I think it's going to be close, but the line is indicating that here. What are you guys thinking about this one? Zhu's for real. Yeah, I was very impressed with this guy. Zhu, who? Handsome fella. That's not a fella, man. It's not a fella. That's ridiculous. That shouldn't have been sanctioned. I couldn't believe that. Vera is a nothing. He's a marauder. Vera is marauder. He's gonna come marauder the entire time. He's gonna wrestle. There's a couple marauders on this card actually, and he's one of them. The patch. Who's the patch?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Weezy, deep down in your heart, do you think we'll ever see MMA savant Suksan Simpleton in the Simpleman in the UFC or at least Contender Series because of all the Suksan Simpleman is a simple man?
Yeah, man. Like Suksan, I forgot who it was that he fought that was in the UFC, but that was one of the wins of like a guy who had a bad pre-UFC, like strength to schedule. So I think Suksan Simpleman is a Thai fighter or he's like from Southeast Asia somewhere, I think, and a tough guy, 50-50 record, experienced, scrappy. But I don't know much else about him.
Yeah, I've heard of him before. Proof Fighters on the come up. Vera has a great record and is minus 160 on Tapology at this moment. Yeah, Tapology needs to update, I think, because that line's moved quite a bit. But yeah, he was minus 160, but the line has gotten steamed. Vera will fight for my money. Agreed. I agree with Uncle Weezy 100% or 1,000% on his breakdown of Vera. He's a marauder, man. He's a marauder.
Yeah.
We got Bob Collins with the 199 saying, Uncle Weezy, who's the best marauder of all time?
Man, marauder of all time. The first name that comes to mind is somebody that we just saw last week was Daniel Willie Cat Santos, man. I love him, dude. Constant forward pressure, constant volume. You know who else was a marauder? Jonathan Pierce, one of my favorite fighters. I don't know why they cut that dude, but I love the volume that he fought with. What about Billy Quarantillo?
Yeah.
Another really good marauder, dude. Just coming forward, throwing, eating what you throw at him, and just drowning you late in fights. I like those kind of guys, the guys that never they never take their foot off the gas. They just kind of drag you into the deep end of the pool and try and drown you there. And yeah, those are the names that come to mind for me.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking Jose Medina for best marauder.
He is he's like he gets like the Cabbage Carrera Award for least skilled fighter that can take the most damage, I remember Cabbage used to just get his poor head. Like his head was like a cabbage most of the time after those fights, dude. He would take a serious amount of damage before he finally went down.
Dude, I love a good marauder. Rodrigo Vera, this dude's a marauder. You know who else is a marauder we'll talk about? Ding Ming. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
that guy's a
Yeah,
marauder. Gonna come
for sure.
forward.
Andre Fiallo, of course.
Yeah.
A big time marauder.
Carlos Leal is the definition of a marauder. He's
Yes.
marauding the whole time.
Yeah, the Midnight Marauders, for instance, a Tribe Called Quest, Fife Dog, Q-Tip, Ali Shaheed Muhammad. Those are the Midnight Marauders. Those are three of my favorite marauders of all time.
BSD is a marauder, man.
Yeah, he is.
BSD, Patty Pimblett. That's gonna be a fun fight.
Yeah, it is. That's gonna be an awesome one.
Max Holloway, he does maraud here and there for sure,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. All right, let's move on to the next fight. It is going to be which one do you want to do next?
You want to do the Ding Enrique fight? I don't even know what the order of this is.
That's like higher up in the card.
Okay, so
we can go in this order. That's fine.
But no, let's do the Angela Hill, the Yan Xiaonan fight, or not Yan Xiaonan, Zhang Jingnan.
All right, as long as we don't forget about the Ding fight.
Yeah, we won't.
Okay.
We won't.
All right, cool. All right, let's get into. All right, Angela Hill versus Zhang Jingnan. We got Angela Hill, 41 years old, 5'3" at the 64-inch reach. Zhang is 38 years old, 5'5" with a 64-inch reach. We got Zhang 3 years younger, 2-inch height advantage, same reach there. Angela Hill, 2-3 in her last 5 fights. Submission win against Luana Pinheiro. Decision loss against Tabitha Ricci. Decision win against Ketlin Souza. Decision losses against Yasmin Lucindo and Fatima Klein. As far as Zhang Jingyang, she is 5-0 at her last 5 fights, making her debut. And this is a weird one for me because I think Angela Hill's a super live dog, but at the end of the day, we're in China. The judges hate her so much. I can see it now. Like, it's a competitive fight, and they gave it to Zhang here. But yeah, I mean, Angela Hill, she's not going to worry about somebody taking her down here. Zhang's not out there wrestling. If anything, Hill actually has the grappling upside, a rare grappling upside here in this matchup. Hill's been the much more active fighter. Like, Zhang's fought like 2 times in like the last 3 or 4 years. It's crazy. Zhang's 38 years old, so she's getting up there in age as well. I like the boxing of Zhang and the power especially, but I see this being a super, super close fight. Like, this line makes no sense to me, but at the end of the day, they probably give it to Zhang, but I think Hill's a super live dog. I think it's dog or pass, and it looks like money is pouring in on Angela Hill. She was as high as plus 250. It's currently plus 150. It's dog or pass all day, but it feels like the biggest trap on the card. I don't see in what world Zhang looks minus 200. She's not going to knock out Hill, who's never been knocked out. She's not going to out-grapple Hill. It's going to be a close fight. I think Hill might even have more volume, but we're in China, Weezy, and that's kind of the worry for me.
Yeah, in China, and then obviously Angela Hill, 41 years old. And I mean, she's performed pretty well, but I'm starting to see those chinks in the armor here, especially in the Klein and Lucindo fights. It just looks like, and let's face it, the Ketlin Sosa fight, that was a very winnable fight for her. And she only grappled in one of the 3 rounds, even though she had a massive advantage size-wise against Ketlin and a massive grappling advantage against her. So I'm a little bit worried now that Hill is just a little bit past it. I've been backing her pretty consistently when I find bettable lines on her. I backed her against Ketlin Sosa. I backed her against Luana Pinheiro. And I think I might have even backed her against Yasmin Lucindo. So, but it's 41 years old. It's very difficult to back her. And you know who Jingnan reminds me of is she reminds me of Jessica Andrade. The way that she fights, she just comes forward, shucking hooks. Like, she's got power. She's got legit power. She's looking to take your head off with everything that she throws. So she's aggressive. I think what she does on the feet is going to look really good to the judges. Plus, you're in China. They're signing this woman at 38 years of age. So they definitely want her to win this fight. So if it is a close fight, I think Jingnan will probably get the nod here. Did I get these betting lines into the template? I did not. What do they got Jingnan by decision at?
They have her by decision. Minus 125. God.
Yikes! Wow, a minus next to it. Jeez.
She might even be like minus 125 by the time it starts. Look, judging by this line movement too. So
Yeah.
pretty
I mean,
bad.
like Hill's got some grappling upside here. Hill is going to be the taller, longer fighter, and I think Hill can win minutes in the clinch here, Brady. That's one thing that I think that if you're backing the Angela Hill side, you're going to be hoping that she looks to close the distance, grapple here, clinch and grapple, because that's where Jingnan is a little bit lacking, and that's with her physicality and her takedown defense. She can be taken down, she can be held down, she can be out grappled, and I think that would be a good opportunity for Angela Hill, who's somebody who can use her physicality. You know, they don't cut weight in this part of the world the same way we cut weight over here in the States and they cut weight over in Europe. You know, Asian fighters typically very rarely cut a lot of weight, and Jingnan is somebody who's not a big straw weight to begin with. So I do think that Angie Hill, even though she fought a lot at flyweight, in one, you definitely have to fight up a weight class from where you would in the UFC because of their rehydration rules and stuff like that. So I think the physicality of Hill could potentially have her getting some upside, potentially finding some minutes in the clinch and on the mat here, and the striking exchanges should play out close enough that I don't think Angela Hill's a bad bet at plus money here, but I think Jingnan's going to be landing the bigger shots, and I think the home field advantage, the long trip for Angie Hill, the fact that Angie's 41 and a half years old are all reasons why Jingnan probably winds up getting her hand raised here.
Yeah, like if it was like in Vegas, I would have already bet Hill by now, but
yeah,
it's not in Vegas. It's in China. Angela Hill equals value loser of the week. Yeah, I don't think if you're one of the guys that are like, you know, every bet that loses is a bad bet, you're not going to like the bet because she might lose. But I feel like you're going to be very happy. Most people are going to be very happy betting Angela Hill like plus 150 to plus 200 in a fight that I think is going to be very, very close. But we're in China. Like Hill's upside here is like a close decision in China. Like that's her upside. She's not going to submit Zhang. She's not going to run through Zhang. Her upside's like a close decision in China when they want to get behind Zhang Zhaonan. So,
yeah, I agree with you there completely. I think it's one of those things where the line is where it is, and there's value on Hill because it's probably going to wind up being a value loser if you do bet on Hill. But and how many times has that happened already?
So much. It happens all the time. Judges hate Angela Hill.
They hate her.
They hate her. Absolutely hate her.
Yeah.
Cornrows, short throw equals money. So yeah, we have that in the stats. We like when Angela Hill has that short throw. Apparently she's been cashing.
Oh wow, that's something I don't know. My database has got. I don't have hair length as one of the features in there, and that's on me, frankly.
And when she has that,
I got to do better.
So the big afro is when she loses. Okay, we'll have to check out actually I can check it out now. Angela Hill. We'll check it out right now. Well, does she have the big fro or the cornrows / short fro? And by the looks of it, looks like she's rocking the. Oh God, I don't know, Weezy. Looks short to me. I don't know how short they. I don't know how short they want it though. But it looks.
I don't know. I don't know what the cutoff is. You know.
I don't know. It looks short-ish. I don't know. 41 is the new 30. Well, they're both up there. I mean, Zhang's like 38 and has rarely fought. The level of one championship versus the UFC is night and day. Everyone that Hill lost to would smash Zhang. Maybe not everyone, because Hill has like 16 losses. I'm sure we can find a couple. Let's take a look at Hill's losses. So Hill lost to Klein. Yeah, give me Klein there. Lucinda Ricci, Dern, Jandaroba, Lemos, Tisha Pennington, Michelle Watterson, Claudia Gadelia. These aren't bad losses. Yan Xiaonan.
I remember the Gadelia fight and the Watterson fights being relative robberies too.
Yeah, she definitely beat Claudia Gadelia. So Rando Marcos, that's a very bad loss. But Courtney Case is a pretty bad loss. But that was a while ago. So what's up, Daniel? Good to see you in here. Even at 41, Angela Hill in your debut she's a tough out. She's definitely a tough out.
Yeah.
Angela Hill loses by decision. We got Big Steve with that
Yes.
$10 dono. Appreciate you, Big Steve. Kanji Zhu, Supremacy. So Steve's the one that moved the line, making it go from like plus 150 to minus 105. So the best of luck, Steve. Enjoy that CLV. Hopefully it comes through for you, my guy. Appreciate for sponsoring the show.
Yeah.
My girl says 2 to 3 inches ain't short. No, it's not bad. Hair length and wiki feet ratings need to be added. I agree with this. Where are the wiki feet ratings?
I gotta. It's on me. I need to do better. I mean, that's what I'm trying to admit here is that I need to do better.
Well, let's see. Oh, Angela has a 4.23 wiki feet rating, which is
above
fine.
average.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's above average.
I'm assuming they don't have Jing Yang on here, but you never know.
We can only hope.
People are sick. No, they don't. So after this fight card, they might though.
I think WikiFeet is banned in China. That's why. I think that's why. Otherwise, I think we would have some kind of a rating there.
Yeah, that could be it. I bet it's banned, which makes sense. All
right, USA.
Let's go. All right, moving on to the next fight. It is Ray Saruya going against Luis Garule. We got Saruya, 23 years old, 5'6" with a 68-inch reach. Garule, 32 years old, 5'5" with a 64-inch reach. Saruya, 9 years younger, 1-inch height advantage, 4-inch reach advantage. Saruya is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Made his debut against Carlos Hernandez, won that fight by decision. Lost the decision to Joshua Van in his last fight and had a bunch of road UFC fights where he did pretty well. As far as Luis Garule, 2-3 in his last 5 fights, had a decision win on the Contender Series against Nick Piccinini, lost by knockout to Ode Osborne, lost to Jesus Aguilar, lost to Alden Correa by decision, and then beat Daniel Perez by decision. So we just watched that fight last week, Weezy, and what happened was you could tell like Garule was fighting for his job. I mean, he went out there and put on the performance of a lifetime because up until then, these last 3 fights were horrible looks. I mean, I still can't believe this guy got outstruck by Jesus Aguilar, who has a 39-inch reach. I couldn't believe my eyes. But Garule went out there and looked really good against Perez. He did get hurt once, but he gets hurt in every fight. And to be honest, like if this was Garule on like a full camp and we were in the U.S., it's like I think he'd be a very live dog here. But 1 week notice going all the way to China after just – I mean, he took damage in the Perez. Like he took some big shots against Perez. It's not like he went out there and didn't take any damage. He got hurt in that fight. And he's going against Ray Saruya, who's on a full camp. Yeah, I think it's probably Saruya, but I don't know. Like Garule, like I said, full camp. He's good takedown defense. He has a good get-up game. He has solid boxing. I think on a full camp, he could give Saruya some problems, but Weezy, this is not a full camp. And he just fought. I don't like the circumstances for Garule here, but Saruya minus 235, Garule plus 200. I will not be touching this fight. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's kind of a wild one because on one side you got Garule, who's on a 14-day layoff, 14 days from his last fight to this fight and making the trip to China. And then you've got Ray Saruya on the other side who hasn't fought in like 15 months. His last fight was well over a year ago against Josh Van, and he got some takedowns in that fight. He showed that he's got about 15 different takedown attempts that he can throw at you. You know, now, and I'm not talking about the same one over and over again. Like some of those takedowns he got in the Van fight was like, wait, what the fuck was? I mean, I remember rewinding. I'm like, I got to see this in slow motion. I don't even know what he's going for here. He's really creative with his wrestling. So, the point of me saying all that is that I just don't think Ray Saruya is the kind of opponent that you can prepare for, you know, on your phone to making the long flight to Macau. You know, this is a bad situational matchup here for Garule, not just stylistically, but also because of the short notice, the quick turnaround and the long trip. So, but, you know, with Garule, I think he's obviously going to be the better striker here. And if he fights like he fought in the Barres fight, which is being on that front foot, being the bully, you know, staying in this guy's face, I think that he's going to be able to have success here because he's going to be the better striker. And Saruya really does depend on grappling success in order to win minutes. And we've seen him lose round 3 against Carlos Hernandez. We saw him like really kind of lose rounds 2 and 3 badly against Josh Van. If he can't get his grappling game going, there's not going to be a plan B. You know, if the first 10 takedown attempts don't work for Ray, plan B is takedown attempt number 11. You know, that's what it's going to be. So it's going to be interesting to see if Gurule can frustrate Saruya and do enough damage while he is stuffing this fight, stuffing these takedowns in order to win this fight, because this is one of those situations where it might just be enough for Gurule to win this fight to just frustrate Saruya and limit his grappling upside. Like, you can get takedowns, but if you're not landing any damage with them, you know, this could be a fight that Gurule could win.
Yeah, I think it is low key like a winnable fight. Like I said, full camp, like in like Vegas. Even though I hate Gurule, yeah, I mean, like, I could see him stuffing takedowns. Saruya still has a long way to go in terms of the striking. A long way to go in the striking. I don't think he has the greatest cardio either. So, but I mean, it's short notice all the way to China. Oh gosh, I don't know. But yeah, I'm not touching this fight. If anything, it's dog or pass, but I'm fine with passing. Saruya opened up minus 200, currently minus 235. Gurule opened up plus 170, currently plus 200. I'd be interested to know what like a plus 3.5 is, because I don't think Saruya is knocking out a chinny Gurule. He was very chinny, but Saruya is not knocking him out.
Yeah.
I don't think Saruya is really going to sub him either. I could see Saruya winning like a 29-28 decision. I'd be curious to know like what the plus 3.5 spread is on Gurule. Is that a playable line, do you think? Let's see.
Let's have a look-see.
Don't mind plus 3.5 here and there.
Yeah, Gurule minus 135. So they're telling you that he's got a pretty good chance to win one round here.
Yeah, I was hoping for maybe like a plus money number. Yeah. I think he could win a round for sure. But yeah, it's tough on such short note, and the dude just fought. Like I don't love that, but
yeah.
Well, and I don't love Luis Gurule. He had a great performance, but I mean, let's not forget this guy got dog walked by Jesus Aguilar. Google her feet and make your own. That's disgusting. I'm not doing that. Come on. Oh, you gotta have a VPN for the China. Okay.
Yeah.
You liking Gurule? You liking Gurule? Yeah, maybe, man. I mean, I'm not that in love with Saruya like a lot of people are, but I think this could be a trap. In what way? What do you think? In what way? Saruya by slam KO.
It could happen.
That would be in typical Gurule fashion. And I'd be pissed off. I was telling Clint this because Clint actually likes Saruya by KO, which is like plus 750. And I was like, I'll be pissed because I bet Perez by KO. I bet Korea by KO. Yeah. And it didn't happen. If Saruya knocks out Gurule, I might smash my TV. What do you mean Saruya knocked out Gurule and Korea and Perez camp? What do you mean? So, I mean, maybe slam KO. We're going to find out. Saruya is not an MMA fighter. He cannot strike and has bad cardio. He's working on it. He's only 23. We got to remember, he's only 23. His wrestling's very, very good. His grappling's very slick. Yeah. So he's going to continue to get better. Can you even call that a layoff? No, man.
14 days? No.
It's crazy. It's crazy. We got a $1.99 dono. Appreciate you. What is that? Bagel Guasquez. I like that. What's up, Bagel? He says, sorry to be off topic, but do you like Dana White? I don't care for him. Like I don't like him. I don't hate him. I feel like he kind of doesn't give a crap anymore, to be honest, about his UFC product. He's worried about other things, but I don't hate him. Don't like him. Don't hate him. He's kind of indifferent about it. How about you, Weezy?
Yeah, I kind of feel like he's like a jaded cop that's like 6 months away from retirement at this point. You know, I feel like that, but I also feel like, I mean, we all kind of owe Dana White a debt, don't we? I mean, like, think about how long this guy has been with this organization and what the organization was when Dana White was hired and where it is now. I mean, you want to talk about building something phenomenal. Dana White was part of it almost from day one. So, like, while, you know, it's easy to kind of talk shit about people that have accomplished as much as Dana has in his life, you know, it's easy to criticize those people because they've got such a bright spotlight over them. you also have to really give credit where credit is due. I wish I was Dana White. You know what I'm saying? Like, how cool would that be? You know, like you like story time with Uncle Weezy. Can you imagine sitting and listening to stories that Dana White would be telling? I mean, like he's probably got stories for months, like incredible stories about interactions with some of the best fighters to ever do it. And yeah, just being a part of this, I got a ton of respect for that dude and everything that he's accomplished in his life.
Agreed. We got to give him his respect. He built something phenomenal.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Dana's okay with, I don't know. A lot of people really hate Dana. But yeah, I don't like him. I don't hate him. It's just whatever, you know. Don't really care, to be honest. Sarria sub probably, or Luis upset decision. Yeah, what is Garuli by decision? Garuli by decision plus 325, isn't he? Like plus 2. So they're on to that. Sarria by submission is only plus 275. I don't know. I don't love it. 103 people in the chat, but only 42 likes. Let's break the. Yeah, we got to get at least 100 likes. I know we had an off week last week, but we need to get at least 100 likes. Weezy, you're tripping. You're giving Dana too much credit. You're tripping.
Yeah, I wish I was him though. I'd trade places with him. You know,
I wish I had the amount of money he has for sure.
Yeah, me too, man. You know, that'd be pretty cool.
Don't we all? All right, let's move on to the next fight. It is going to be Arichi Long going against Cody Haddon. We got Arichi Long, 32 years old, 5'7" with a 69-inch reach. Cody Haddon, 27 years old, 5'7" with a 69-inch reach. Haddon, 5 years younger, same height, same reach. Arichi Long is 2-1 no contest in his last 5 fights. Knockout loss to Ayman Zahabi. Decision win against Johnny Munoz Jr. No contest against Daniel Marcos. Decision loss against Raul Rosas Jr. and a knockout win against Cody Gibson. As far as Cody Haddon, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. Had that win on the Contender Series against Billy Brand by submission. Went out there in his debut against Dan Argueta, won that fight by decision. He was supposed to fight Malcolm Wellmaker. It feels like a while ago at this point, Weezy, but he had to pull out due to some people were saying like he had like a major like injury or like a crazy injury, and he's been out for a very long time. He's been out for I think almost like 2 years, which is crazy. But man, Cody Haddon, this guy is really good. 27 years old. His boxing's incredible. His volume's incredible. He mixes it up to the body, goes body head, has solid power. He's good everywhere. He's a good wrestler. He's a slick grappler. There's not really an area that Cody Haddon's really bad at all. I mean, the only thing I don't love is sometimes he's willing to eat one to give one and eat a big shot here or there, but his chin's held up thus far. I think Cody Haddon's the real deal. So yeah, layoff, injury. Outside of that, though, I think he's a very good fighter with a very bright future, and would have liked to see that Wellmaker fight. I would have really liked to see that fight. Maybe they can run it in the future here, but he's going against Arichi Long, who, yeah, I mean, he's tough. He's tough. He has some power, but I mean, Haddon's just going to be really better wherever the fight goes. Haddon's going to be the minute winner in the striking. He's going to be landing a lot more. He can take down Arichi Long. I think Haddon can really win this fight by any method, but yeah, I like Haddon here, but it is a massive layoff, Weezy. Very, very big layoff here.
1 year, 7 months, and 19 days. It's a long-ass layoff, that's for sure. So Cody Haddon is only 27 years old. And, and don't forget, this dude's, Australian. That's a long trip from Australia up to China. That's a bit of a cruise anywhere from Australia to anywhere. But in this case, he's fighting a Chinese dude. So, I don't know where Qilong's been training ever since Fight Ready kind of shut down.
Somebody in Clinch chat was saying like Arizona, I think.
Okay, if he's still in Arizona, then he's got to make the trip.
Sean O'Malley.
Okay, yeah, because that's MMA Lab then. So that would be Arizona, and that's where he was training before when he was at Fight Ready. So maybe he is still in the country, but yeah, it goes back to China to be like the home country fighter here. He's even though he's originally from Mongolia, I think. But anyway, yeah, this is going to be a fun fight. But while I think that Cody's the better fighter everywhere, Arichi Long's been the much more active fighter as of late. 2 fights in 2024, 1 fight in late 2025. While This guy's got 0 fights in 2025 Haddon, so I think that we got to worry about how he's going to look after this long of a layoff. And so I think it's probably a fight just to kind of sit back and kind of get some data on this Haddon guy, because I think the sky's the limit for him. Yeah, he looks like he's doesn't really have any weak spots. He's still only 27 years old, and the tape on the guy looks really good, man. I mean, good win on Dana White's Contender Series over Billy Brand. Really good win over a tough opponent in Dan Argueta in his UFC debut. And then we just, now there's injuries, so we don't know exactly how ready he is, how he's going to look, what if the ring rust is going to have any effect on him. So there's a lot of unanswered questions in this fight that kind of has me not wanting to gamble on it. But what is the line right now?
Yeah, Haddon is currently minus 350, Arichi Long plus 285.
Yeah, see that's too wide for me, just because of, you're talking about a year and a half layoff for a very young fighter because of injuries. So that laying minus 350, you're implying that this is going to be a dominant win for a guy who hasn't fought in 18 months.
Yeah. So it says so Haddon withdrew from Alexandre Topuria for UFC 312. And so I'm reading it now. It says that injury was due to a sustained a fracture to his medial cuneiform bone in his right foot.
Okay. So I don't know what bone that is, but it's
doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good. So that was 312. He pulled, and then he pulled out against Wellmaker for 322, and looks like another foot injury. What? It said fractured foot as well for Wellmaker. What? So he fractured his foot twice? What's going on with this dude's foot?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that you have to really be concerned about, and that's why minus 350 just doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, he's the better fighter.
Weird.
He's got a lot more upside, but it's not like Aori Kwai-Leng is some bum that you can easily take down and rinse on the mat or just easily run through on the feet. As a matter of fact, like even Raul Rosas Jr., was really only able to find success in 2 out of the 3 rounds grappling against him. He's been in there against some pretty decent guys, even like Johnny Munoz Jr., who's like a pure jiu-jitsu guy who's just going to sniff crotch for 15 minutes. He was able to, grapple with those guys. He's been in there against some good strikers. So I don't know, man. Like, I don't think Haddon's going to run through this dude. So this line might be a little wide.
Yeah, I'm not touching this one. The over under set at 2.5 rounds, the over 2.5 minus 120, the under 2.5 plus 100. What I'll say is Arichi Long's like stupid tough. He has 39 fights. He's only been knocked out once in those 39 fights, and he's been subbed a couple times, but he's been subbed like 10 years ago. I think he's improved that submission defense. So I kind of think it's potentially Haddon by decision, which is plus 150. But yeah, I'm not touching this one. I definitely lean Haddon. I think he's so much better than Arichi Long, and his ceiling is like 50 times higher than her. This guy Haddon has such a high ceiling, in my opinion. So definitely going with Haddon there. I did my homework on Haddon. He's legit. Also, his body is shredded compared to Arichi Long. Yeah, good. Nice. He's been out for almost 2 years. But yeah, the injuries kind of concern me a little bit. Haddon would have smoked Wellmaker. Yeah, it would have been pretty bad. It would have been very bad. Something wrong with his medulla oblongata, potentially. You never know. What's Haddon's wiki feet score? You have to look that up. I don't think he has one. Man.
It might have went down since the recent foot breaks. That's not going to help him.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to help. Can't be any worse than Shaq's. I mean, Shaq is like a 2 rating, which is crazy. People forget, man. Haddon fought Ursat. No, I don't think anybody forgot. When you listen to breakdowns this week, you're going to hear it all week. He did. His one loss does come to Steve Ursag. Take care of your feet, y'all. Agreed. Yeah. Agreed. I have rewatched Blades versus Hogan 5 or 8 times. Why not, man? That fight was the best fight of the year. That fight was incredible.
Incredible fight.
All right. Speaking of incredible fight, Weezy, it's time. It's time to talk about the one, the only Ding Ming, and he's taking on Jose Henrique. We got Ding, who is 31 years old, 6'2" with a 73-inch reach. Jose Henrique is 24 years old, 6'3" with a 79-inch reach. Henrique is 7 years younger. He's going to have a 1-inch height advantage and a 6-inch reach advantage. Ding Ming is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. We're making his debut here. Jose Henrique is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. His last loss came on the Contender Series against Kinoshita, where he got knocked out, I believe, in the second round. This is bad, Weezy. I mean, this is the second lowest level fight on the card. I think we'll talk about the lowest level fight next fight. This is very bad. But Jose Henrique, I'm not sure what they're doing here, Weezy. They keep trying to give this guy fights. They tried to give him like 3 or 4 other opponents. It's like, why? What is your obsession with Jose Henrique? I mean, this guy's not great. He's big. He's a big guy, but I mean, what's he good at? I mean, he doesn't move his head. He's low volume. He's a little chinny. He's very hittable. He backs up to the back of the cage. I mean, this guy, I'm not sure what he's good at. He can't grapple. He can't wrestle. He's tall though. I don't know what they're seeing here. I get he's 24, should be making improvements, but geez. And then Ding Ming, this guy's a marauder. The definition of marauder. He's going to come forward. If he gets dropped, he's going to get back up. I saw a fight where he got dropped like 5 times, got back up every single time, just kept coming forward, and broke the dude. I mean, this guy's a marauder. He's going to come forward the entire time. He's super tough. He's got a ton of heart. Not really skilled, but he's got the marauding style. So I'm taking the marauder here. I think the pressure of Ding Ming is going to be key here. I think he's a lot tougher. I think he's just as hittable, but I think he has a better chin. I think he has some power. I'm going Ding Ming here, but there's no way I can bet this fight. Maybe a total, but they refuse to get a total out on this fight, Weezy. No total yet. Every other fight is a total, but this one.
Yeah, and that's usually a tell that they're expecting like a higher level of violence than usual. Usually that's what I notice. Like if they're unwilling to put out totals, it's usually in a fight that they are expecting to finish early.
Which I agree. It's going to be a slobber knocker, this one.
It's going to be a fun one because that's what Henrique does. He doesn't really grapple offensively that much. He's tall and long, so he's got some good Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but he looks to kind of just use that length and kind of like crack you once. He's a bit of a sniper, like you said, a little bit low volume, but when he does land, and he can land big, 6-1 to the knockout as a pro. But Ding Ming is 28-2 to the KO. 28-2 to the knockout. I mean, like, this guy, like you said, he is a marauder. He's very big for the division. He looks so much bigger than all of his opponents when he's out there fighting because, like I say, these Asian guys don't cut a lot of weight, and this guy's huge for the division. So I think that's a big part of why he's knocking a lot of people out on the Asian regional scene. But yeah, it's going to be a fun fight because I think these guys are going to stand and bang, and I think they both hit pretty hard. And I don't think either one of them are defensive wizards, that's for sure. So yeah, it should be a really fun fight, man. Henrique could have some upside as a mixed martial artist. Like you said, dude, he's only 24. He's a Nova União guy. Prior to his last 2 fights against Porfirio Alves and Alexandre Silva, and I think the Alan Silva as well, I think those were in nothing promotions. But before that, he was fighting in Shutu. He was fighting in LFA. Like, he was actually fighting some guys that, like if you're fighting these guys at 21 years of age, it means you're on the track that you're going to eventually be in the UFC. So, maybe Sean Shelby and Mick Maynard saw something in this kid, like saw some upside. And maybe his coaches over at Nova União are telling him that, like, yeah, this kid's just about ready to put it all together, but I'm not seeing it yet. And the fact that he's kind of stepping back and fighting lower level guys than what he was fighting 3 years ago, that bothers me as well, because it kind of reeks of trying to pad your record just because your only goal is to get to the UFC, not necessarily to be ready for it when you're here, which is the most dangerous thing that you can do, is try to cut that line and think that when you do get to the UFC that all of a sudden you're going to get easy winnable fights. It doesn't work that way up here. And I don't know if this kid Enrique's ready for this level. With Ming Ding, at least you know this guy's got 28 knockout wins. He's only 31 years old with 44 fights. And you know what this guy does. He's a marauder. He hits hard. He's looking to knock you out.
Love me a good marauder. Love me a marauder. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's Ding or pass. Ding is minus 125. He opened at minus 250. Jose Henrique opened up plus 210. He's currently plus 105. So the line has closed up a bit, and I'm curious to see what the total's at because I think there is a good chance I mean, Ding Ming's going to mean a lot of violent fights. He's all offense, no defense, very hittable. 30 knockouts, 4 and against is crazy. 28 and 2 to the that's insane. So yeah, somebody probably gets knocked out here. So we'll see what they put the total. Maybe like a fight ends KO, but judging by them taking so long to get the total out, it's probably not going to be good. They got to take some extra time to look into this one.
I don't know why.
Yeah, maybe they don't want to look into it. I don't know, because some of these fights I don't want to look into, but after I did, I liked them.
Yeah.
Ding Yadong parlay. I don't mind it actually. I don't mind a ding Yadong parlay. Value on unders for this street beef. This is the definition of a street beef.
Dude.
Maybe we'll see what they put the numbers out. We got to see the numbers. Maybe we'll get them out tomorrow. We got the only Godfather. Shame on me for not turning the notifications on for the show. Respect to the legends, Brady and Uncle Weezy, providing the world content. Appreciate you, Godfather, for tuning in, my guy. Ding Ming gonna bring the fight. Let's go. 28 and 2. Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy. I'm gonna Ming my Ding to this fight, aren't we all?
Let's go.
Needed this. I'm stuck in the airport for 3 hours. Oh, well, hopefully we can pass the time a little bit for you. Don't be minging your Ding around me, bro. I won't do that. I won't do that. Ketlin Vieira, Rafael Estevam, Luana Cerda, Novin Nuyao has been in the dump after Jose Aldo. Yeah, this
don't forget about what's his name? Luana Pinheiro's boyfriend, Nicolau, Mateus Nicolau.
Oh, don't even get me started on Mateus Nicolau.
Rafael Filho, another Renova Uniao guy, and he just lost.
Oh gosh. Yeah. I don't know what's going on over there. They got to figure it out. For some reason, Henrique's name is reminding me of the Bailmalo song.
Bailamos.
Bailamos.
Which means let's dance.
Hey, let's dance. Let's
go.
Some of these Chinese records are wild. They fight so often. Yeah, there's probably not like a good commission. They just let them fight every week.
Yeah, Aricha Lang, Ming Ding, a lot of both of these dudes were like fighting once a month for a while.
Yeah. Henrique KO Springer for me. What's the number, boys? No numbers, man. They're not getting props out on this fight, but
I don't know why.
What I'll say is Henrique's gonna have opportunities because Ding Ming will let you hit him, man. Ding Ming will come. He doesn't have any strike and defense. It kind of reminds me of the Yuri strike and defense, hands down, like just letting you punch him in the face. But he is tough though. He's a tough dude. He's a tough dude. The Ding Dong parlay. I like it, man. I like it. No total yet, but we'll have to see. We got Eileen Perez's butthole. What's up? Good to see you in here. The Dong Ding Sack parlay. Oh gosh, this card just needs a dang to be complete. Well, I think we're gonna have a dang good fight next fight. I can't wait to talk about the next fight. All right. Oh, that could be it. The Aussie dealer got locked up.
Yeah.
Can't get that good Aussie bowl. All right. Let's move on to the next fight. Oh, God. We got Luis Diaz going against Yisak Lee. We got Luis Diaz, 31 years old, 5'10" with a 74-inch reach. We got Yisak Lee, 26 years old, 6 foot with a 74-inch reach. Yisak Lee, 5 years younger, 2-inch height advantage, same reach there. Yisak Lee is 4-1 in his last 5 fights, making his debut here, as is Luis Diaz, who's 3-2 in his last 5 fights, but he did have a sub win on the Contender Series in round number 2. So yeah, I researched this fight, and I actually taped Diaz first, and I was like, holy crap. This guy's gassing after 5 minutes. And not just one fight. There's a couple fights. He's gassing out after the first 5 minutes when fights aren't going his way. This guy is absolutely jacked, has a ton of muscle, and I think that might have something to do with it. His grappling is very slick. If he's able to get the fight down to the ground, he is a legit black belt. He has some power on the feet, and he'll go for it. But yeah, the cardio was my one concern. So I was like, oh gosh, this guy's a favorite. this guy's a favorite in the UFC. What? And then I taped Yisak Lee, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I could not believe what I was watching, Uncle Weezy. I mean, this guy was fighting in one of the smallest room. The room was probably about as big as my office.
Yeah,
which isn't that big. And they had a cage in there. I don't know how people were sitting or nothing. He was fighting in the smallest room. He was fighting a pretzel vendor. And I kid you not, this pretzel vendor was having success really wherever the fight went.
Yeah.
Yisak Lee looked horrible on the feet. He looked horrible in the grave. He was getting out grappled by a hot dog vendor. He was making mistakes in the grappling against this guy, and then he ended up getting submitted by this absolute bum who's like 12-9 current. I cannot believe my eyes. I was shocked. I mean, this has to be one of the worst signings in UFC history. So, yeah, I mean, after looking into it, it's like, do I want to lay minus 170 on Luis Felipe Diaz, who's fought the much better competition? It is not even close. He has actually fought legit guys. Yisak Lee has fought the opposite of legit guys. But Diaz, the cardio could be an issue, right? Or do you want to bet Yisak Lee, who stinks? I can't name one good thing about Yisak Lee other than he trains at Korean Top Team. That's the only good thing I can say about him. He's not a good striker. He's not a good wrestler. He's not a good grappler. I can't say. Can you name one good quality? Like, were the matchmakers on crack when they signed this guy? Can you name one good thing that Yisak Lee does? Because I can't. Help me out.
Dude, there's no question that these guys do psychedelics on the regular. Because I think, like, dude, if you and me, Brady, if we were hanging out one night and we had power in the UFC and we could sign dudes, like one night I'd probably slip something into your drink. You'd start tripping balls and we'd start laughing our ass off. And by the end of the night, we would have signed Yisak Lee. Like that's the kind of thing that I think happens sometimes where these guys are just, they're laughing their asses off. And they're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's cut Ketlin Vieira.
Yes.
And we're going to sign this guy who lost to a Malaysian dude with 11 losses on his record. And that was the only guy with a pulse that he ever fought. And I mean, I'm telling you guys, you got to watch this fight. They're in a gym. And think about it. When was the last time you watched an MMA fight? And while you were watching the MMA fight, you were simultaneously looking out a window?
Never. Ever.
Like there's a window in the background. There's logos on the window. People are walking by. The cage barely fits into the gym. And there's 3 people that are working for the commission that are literally blocked in by the cage. Like they won't be able to get out of the area that they're at until after the fight is over because they're literally blocked into a corner by the cage. It was the dumbest thing ever. There were like 12 people in attendance, and Yisak Lee is getting thrown around like a sack of yees by a Malaysian dude with 11 losses on his record, Brady. 11 losses on his record. And this dude was looking like Jordan Burroughs out there, takedown after takedown. At one point in the second round, Yisak Lee reverses this guy. The nigga Salam, I think is his name. Aguilan Thani Glaslam or something like that. This dude, he reversed him, got on top, made a mistake, got put on bottom, and then just immediately gave up and was submitted with a rear naked choke. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Oh, God.
And he has not beaten one fighter with a pulse. I don't know how the hell this guy got signed. At least Luis Diaz, who has 5 losses on his record, and the Cato loss was a bad look. The Bandel loss was a bad look. But Marcin Bandel would submit Yisak Lee in round number 1. Marcin Bandel is a legit fighter. who's fought a legit level of competition on the regional scene in real promotions like Brave. He's not fighting in places where there's a visible window and passerbys can watch his fight for free. So like I really think Luis Diaz is going to destroy this dude. But if he gasses out, if the long trip affects him, if the fact that this is his UFC debut as well, but if Yisak Lee gets his hand raised, I'm telling you, Brady, anything is possible. I mean, if Yisak Lee wins this fight on Saturday, every young man in Korea that has a dream is probably going to think that dream is possible. Not the North Koreans. Their dreams are dead forever. But the South Koreans, Brady, anything is possible if this guy pulls it off. I promise you that.
I mean, yeah, it could happen. How I envision a Yisak Lee win looking like is him just kind of Homer Simpson it.
Yeah.
Diaz gassing out and maybe getting a late finish. But yeah, I agree. I think Diaz should, like, in all honesty, like, Diaz should finish him in 60 seconds. Like, just take him down. And I mean, if you're getting out grappled by an anti-Ans worker, I mean, this guy Diaz is a legit black belt. Why not? And plus, it's not like Lee has some phenomenal takedown defense. I mean, he was getting taken down multiple times by the anti-Ans workers. So it's like, if you're Diaz, take him down and sub him in 60 seconds. You don't need 15-minute cardio to win this fight if you're Diaz. So yeah, I like Diaz here, but I also like some violence as well. I think the under 2.5 is a very good look. The fight doesn't get the decisions, a very good look. And I was hoping to get a juicy price on Diaz by sub, and it is currently plus 265. But I would just take like an early sub potentially. But yeah, this should be Diaz. He shouldn't mess this one up, right?
I would be really surprised if this, like, I kind of feel like his money line should be minus 300.
Yeah, maybe the cardio is the reason why it's not. But yeah, skill for skill, he's 50 times better than this guy.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think even if he gets tired, I don't see where Yisak Lee's gonna do anything.
Yeah, he did get tired in the Contender Series fight and still got the sub. So
yeah, exactly. And he beat somebody on the Contender Series, for Christ's sake. I mean, that guy Donovan Hedrick runs through everybody that Yisak Lee has beaten in one night, probably. I mean, these guys are terrible, dude.
So bad. Yeah, I mean, maybe Yisak Lee's made some improvements from the last couple of fights I've seen, but I mean, he's gonna have to make a ton of improvements to get a UFC win.
And by the way, I didn't say the N-word. Just try to pronounce that dude's last name that he lost to, that Yisak Lee lost to, without saying that. THANIGASALAM. What am I supposed to do?
I'm not going to try to pronounce that.
That's why I just spelled it the second time, because like I tried to pronounce it 3 times and you get halfway through the word and you're just like, this isn't working.
Yeah. He wasn't trying to say that.
Trying to say a name. That's all I was trying to do.
He's just trying to do his job.
I'm going to call him that Malaysian dude from now on.
That's what he is. He's that Malaysian dude.
Malaysian pretzel vendor.
Stand up. Felipe Diaz inside the distance is a lock. He is clearly on roids. I mean, he's way too shred. I mean, this guy has too much muscle on him. Way too much muscle on him.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Almost missed you. What's up, Hi Al? You think Penis could be champ? I like Penis, but he's got a lot to prove. Penis has got a lot to prove. He screams like a Japanese fighting movie. Who does?
Yisak Lee? Does he? I don't know.
We got Daniel Forrest with a $2 donor. Appreciate you, Forrest, saying Diego Lopez wig fund for UFC White House in 3 weeks. Let's go. I got to get my wig. I think I still got it. Actually, I'm looking at it right now. I don't know why it's out and about, but it is. Maybe somebody's gonna get into my stuff. Yeah, don't you badmouth Mr. Lee. Yeah, he's just so bad.
He's bad. He's bad, you guys.
So bad. So bad. Okay. His cardio will be gone. That's fine. He only needs 60 seconds. That's all he needs. I don't care if he all he needs is 60 seconds. This card's at 4:00 in the morning. So around 7 o'clock in the morning, Weezy. I'm going to have way too much action on this. This is the lowest level fight probably in UFC history. At 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to have multiple units on this fight, on violence props, on Juan Diaz by submission. I'm going to have way too much money on this fight at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy. Brady over Ding Isak. I don't think I have. What a time to be. It's a great time to be. I remember we cashed Junior Tafa against Taliesin Teixeira at like 7 in the morning. That woke me up a little bit. So yeah, maybe cash some violence in this Isak Lee Luis Diaz fight, because I really like violence here. I think it's a very violent fight one way or another. All right, let's move on to the next fight, and it is going to be an actual fight, Weezy.
Okay, we got one now, huh?
An actual fight with actual fighters. It's going to be Alex Perez going against Sue Madarji. We got Alex Perez, 34 years old, 5'6", with a 65-inch reach. We got Sue Madarji, 30 years old, 5'8", with a 72-inch reach. We got Sue Madarji, 4 years younger, 2-inch height advantage, 7-inch reach advantage. We got Alex Perez is 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Decision loss to Muhammad Makayev. Knockout win against Mateus Nicolau. Knockout loss to Tatsuro Taira. Submission loss to Asim Mabayev. And then a knockout win against Charles Johnson. As far as Sue Madarji, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He had a submission loss to Tim Elliott. Decision loss to Charles Johnson. Decision wins against Mitch Raposo, Kevin Borjas, and Jesus Aguilar. So this was a weird one for me, Weezy, because I am fading these guys all the time. I mean, you know how much money I've made betting sub props against Alex Perez? How much money I've made betting sub props against Sue Madarji? These guys have been subbed a combined 12 times in their career. I'm always looking to fade these guys. Alex Perez is somebody that always drops the ball when he gets a step up in competition. Sue Madarji is a guy that I'm not in love with the grappling. I'm not in love with the durability, but he is a pretty good striker. So me and Clint were breaking this one down, and Clint's breakdown, he was like, Sue Madarji's best win is Kevin Borjas. And I was like, what? I had to double check it, man. Yeah. I was like, no, there's no way that's his best win. Borjas was 1-4 in the UFC, and I'm looking through it. I'm like, oh my gosh, Andrei Sukumtov, Malcolm Gordon, Zaruk Adashev, Mitch Raposo, Jesus Aguilar, Kevin Borjas. I'm like, oh my gosh, it might be.
Yeah,
Kevin Borjas might be his best win. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then it's like you look at Alex Perez and look at who he's losing to. Asu Almabayev could potentially fight for a title one day. Tatsuro Taira just fought for a title. Muhammad Makayev would have potentially already fought for a title had he not got cut for no reason. Alexander Pantoja, former champion. Davison Figueiredo, former champion. Joseph Benavidez. I mean, those are his losses. So it's like, geez, if Sue Madarji wins this fight, it's going to be his best win by a mile. If Alex Perez loses, it's going to be his worst loss ever. So something's got to give, Weezy. Two of my personal fades going at it. Which one of these guys do you think get it done?
I don't know, man. I think it's a fascinating fight. I really do, because Sue Madarji is not really getting outstruck by anybody, right? Alex Perez is getting subbed by a lot of guys, but he just went out there and knocked out Charles Johnson in the first round. Nobody knocks out Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson is one of the most durable fighters in the history of the division, and he just got knocked out in round number 1 by Perez. And like you said, Perez is only losing to elite guys. He's been a lot more active. The dude fought 3 times in 2024. He fought once in 2025 after that serious knee injury that Taira gave him with the Bushido backpack submission. And then he takes off, about a year and a half, and he goes and he loses to Asu Almabayev, a fight that he was winning the first 2 rounds of, and they got caught in a guillotine in round number 3. So he was winning that fight. He goes and he knocks out Charles Johnson. So, like, even though Alex Perez is 34 years old, even though he's had multiple 1+ year layoffs and serious injury problems throughout his entire career, and you know, that comes with a lot of inconsistency, a lot of variance. You see that Perez has got a 2% ROI over 14 UFC fights, but when he's priced as a favorite, he's 5-0 with a 50% ROI. But when he's priced as an underdog, he's 3-6 with a negative 25% ROI. So the market pretty much gets him right most of the time. It's just that he kind of surprised people with that performance against Johnson. And I'd just like to point out that I think that this dude has seriously outperformed his price tag in 3 out of his last 4 fights. The Nicolau fight where he cashes as a plus 145 underdog. The Almabayev fight where he wins rounds 1 and 2 is a plus 170 underdog. And then he cashes knocking out Charles Johnson in his last fight as a plus 145 underdog. So I think Perez right now is outperforming market expectations, while Muderji, who's only 30 years old and who brings a 3-fight win streak into this fight, he's beating guys like Raposo, Borjas, Aguilar. I mean, we're talking about a massive step up in competition. I have Sue Muderji's schedule, strength of schedule, ranked 33rd out of 54 in the division, while I have Perez's ranked 5th out of 54. And one thing that I'm working on graphics for, Brady, is not only am I going to start, have I already ranked everybody's strength of schedule, but I'll also be ranking their strength of wins within the division and their strength of losses. And Sue Muderji's wins, there are 6 of them, but those 6 guys have combined UFC records of 11 wins and 21 losses. So there, when I say that this is a fascinating fight, it's fascinating for a few reasons. Perez is a guy who's outperforming market expectations and fighting really well right now. Sue Muderji doesn't have any submission upside, so we don't have to worry about the biggest weakness of Alex Perez. But also, Alex is not a guy that's going out there and using wrestling a lot in recent fights, and not a lot of people are out there having success at distance striking range against a 5'8" striker with a 72-inch reach, who's also a southpaw and who also has unusual power for the division. So, man, I mean, like that, you can make really good cases for reasons to bet both of these fighters. And for Sue Muderji, one of the best is that this guy Perez has only fought outside the country once in his entire career, and it was the Almabayev fight.
So he's 1-0.
That fight.
Perez,
he lost.
Oh,
the
yeah.
The Almabayev fight. He lost that one in round 3. It's the only time he fought outside the country. So now he's got to fly all the way to China to fight the fighting pride of China, of the Sichuan region of China there in Sue Muderji. So it's a really interesting fight, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be very smart for Perez to grapple here. I mean, my gosh.
Yeah.
My gosh, is he going to have a big advantage on the mat if he grapples here? And yeah, I mean, I actually do kind of worry about Perez's submission defense. Like Sue Muderji actually attempts quite a few subs. He had a couple subs really close against Charles Johnson.
Yes.
So that is kind of a concern, but yeah, I think I lean Perez here, minus 140. We'll see. I typically like to fade both these guys, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Like this would be by far the best win ever for Sue Muderji. I think his power's so over. This guy's one knockout. And like the last,
but he slept Malcolm Gordon, who's known for his durability.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Malcolm X Gordon.
But he didn't knock out Zaruk Adashev. Oh, God.
I know. Isn't that crazy? How do you not knock out Zaruk? I mean, like, I could punt that dude about 40 yards. How do you not knock him out?
He's like 4'9". So
I know.
I don't know. I try to fade Muderji all the time, but I also try to fade Perez. So it's very interesting. Perez minus 140, Sue Muderji plus 120. Over under set at a pick'em. Over, or not really a pick'em anymore. Over 2.5 minus 125. Under 2.5 is plus 105. Weird one from a total perspective. Because I like betting violence in both their fights because they just get finished all the freaking time. I mean, these guys have 14 combined finish losses at flyweight. That's ridiculous. And it should be 15 because Mark Smith's dumbass didn't stop the Johnson fight when Sue Muderji was covering up and fell to his knees. Like that fight gets stopped by any other ref.
Yeah.
It should be 15 combined finish losses between these two. We should have a whole different promotion for the fighters that are on the sauce. We can call it UFC Juice. I like that. UFC Juiced. I think a lot of the fighters on this card would be part of that promotion. Yeah, Luis Diaz would be part of that promotion for sure. He's definitely on the sauce.
I agree with that. I think that's a great idea.
Great
dude.
idea.
There was an old Saturday Night Live skit when I was a kid,
Mhm.
and it was called the All Steroid Olympics. It was when people first started using steroid, and they had created an Olympics where steroid use was not only illegal, but it was encouraged. And like you'd see like the weightlifters like literally rip their own arms off trying to lift like 5,000 pounds and stuff. It was pretty funny, but now that we're at this point where so many people are using it, these performance enhancing drugs, and the ability to be able to mask that is as effective as ever, you might as well.
Might as well. Agreed. I think Alex Perez wins easily. Yeah, he could. I was so disappointed to see some of these trash odds for the Perez props. Like, we're not. I was looking to maybe get like a sneaky Perez submission, Wheezy. Maybe like a big number, plus 350 for Perez by decision or by submission. Perez inside the distance is only plus 175. The books are so sharp, Wheezy. They know that Sumadarji has trash durability, that he's been finished in all of his fights. Besides the Charles Johnson fight, which was a finish, they just didn't stop it. So
they just didn't stop it. Yeah, and look at what Perez did to Johnson.
I couldn't believe that.
That was a wild result. I mean, if you could have asked me like what percentage of the time does Perez knock out Johnson, I would have been like less than 2%.
Yeah, like Perez has
crazy.
He has good power, really good leg kicks, good wrestling, good grappling. But he always falls short when he takes that step up. I feel like Alex should win this comfortably, but you can really trust him. Yeah, maybe it's hard to trust. He's very inconsistent, Alex Perez. He always finds ways to lose as well, which I don't like. The best way to bet this Perez fight is to bet the over as a potential parlay piece. Well, you're getting a good number on it for a flyweight fight, but these guys that get finished like it's their job is the problem.
They both do finish and get finished, so it's a terrifying one, to bet an over on.
Yeah, I won't be touching the under but it was plus 161, which I would have touched that. Yeah, I would have touched that under at plus 161, but at plus 105, I won't be touching the under.
Yeah,
or the over. Does Alex really have a future? Yeah, I'd say so.
He's 34, so
a little bit of a future.
Health is going to be a big part of that going forward. He's going to stay healthy.
He's finally starting to fight consistently for the first time in his career, which is nice. This guy never used to fight a lot, being active, which is weird to see. Oh, I did not see the Charles Johnson KO coming. Me either. I bet on Charles Johnson. I felt like an absolute idiot. Perez money line is a sweat, but Perez versus Sue over 1.5, 2.5 is no sweat.
Whoa.
Guys have been finished like 15 times.
Both of these guys get finished all the time. So, I mean, but it is a flyweight over.
Flyweight fight, yes. Yep. Sue loves to get subbed. Yeah, it's like some sort of sick fetish between the both of them. That's why I kind of looked at the fight ends by sub, but they're so sharp, Wheezy. Plus 190 for a fight ends by sub. They're very sharp.
Yeah.
Very sharp. Perez, please don't cuck yourself. Yeah, don't do it. Perez ITD should be juicy. It's not at all. Actually, it's plus 175 for a flyweight to finish. Should be an easy Perez win. We'll see. It should be an easy Perez win. Should not be a set. It should.
It's so true. It's so true, man. The guy snatches fucking defeat from the jaws of victory like over and over again, man. That Almabayev fight was a perfect example.
I know. I had the fight doesn't go in that fight. I was kind of got lucky, but yeah. He found a way to cash me that under there.
He found a way.
Why is Sue plus? People really like this guy. Good striker, and like I said, Alex Perez finds a way to lose like a lot. Is the problem.
And it's a long trip to China.
Yeah, it is. Didn't Perez dye his hair last fight? Something was up with Perez in the last. Oh, he missed a weight in the last fight, and he was one of the first to weigh in. Wheezy. He was like the third person to weigh in, Perez, and he missed weight. He cheated. Blatantly cheated.
He knocks out Johnson. I forgot about that. I was so confident on Johnson there, which is something I should never, ever be. How have I learned? How have I not learned to not be confident? I'm the worst Charles Johnson fight picker that ever lived.
Same. I was way off on this Perez fight. That's why I listened to Stacked. Well, to be fair, it's an Alex Perez fight, so expect anything. We could see Alex Perez get subbed up 2 rounds. We could see Sumadarji get subbed. We could see Sumadarji get knocked out. We could see Sumadarji masterclass on the feet over the course of 15 minutes. I mean, it's an Alex Perez fight. I don't know what to expect, but we'll see. All right, let's move on to the next fight. Oh God. Speaking of dropping the ball, how about one of the biggest ball droppers in UFC history and Jake Matthews? He's taken on Carlston Harris. We got Jake Matthews, 31 years old, 5'11" with a 73-inch reach. Carlston Harris, 38 years old, 6 foot with a 76-inch reach. Jake Matthews, 7 years younger. Harris with a 1-inch height advantage and a 3-inch reach advantage. Carlston Harris is 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Knockout loss to Shavkat Rakhmonov. Decision win against Jared Gooden. Submission win against Jeremiah Wells. Knockout loss to Chaos Williams and a knockout loss to Santiago Ponzinibbio. As far as Jake Matthews, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Decision loss to Michael Morales. Decision win against Phil Rowe. Decision win against Francisco Prado. Submission win against Chidi Njokwani. And a submission win against Neil Magny, but they restarted the fight for some reason, and then he got subbed in the 3rd round and cost me and Weezy probably a combined like 15 units on that fight. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, this is I think the one fight on the main card where I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay not laying minus 350 on Jake Matthews. I'm going to pass here. I mean, I think Jake Matthews should win. I think he's the cleaner boxer, the younger guy. I mean, Carlston Harris is 38 years old, almost 39. He's taken this fight on somewhat short notice. I think the durability is pretty much gone at this point. Don't like how he's reacting to shots. But, I mean, Harris has a path here, Weezy, and we can all see it, right? The path is this guy Harris is a very good at the front chokes. Yeah. And Jake Matthews is coming off of a front choke loss against Neil Magny. It was a Darce. And Jake Matthews was anaconda'd back in the day by Anthony Rocco Martin. So there's a path for Harrison. And Jake Matthews is kind of a dumbass, Weezy. I mean, this guy's a dumbass, man. I mean, Jake Matthews is a dummy. I mean, he's the type of guy where he has a big grappling advantage. He's going to strike for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
He's the type of guy where he has a big striking advantage, Weezy. He's going to grapple.
Mm-hmm.
He's the type of guy to if there's a parlay buster on this card, Weezy, it's Jake Matthews. But I'm picking Jake Matthews. I will not have money on this fight. He's a ball dropper, and I will not have money on it this time. But yeah, give me Matthews for the win. I cannot lay minus 350 on Jake Matthews, though. What are your thoughts?
I remember one of the recent fights for Matthews. We were breaking it down on Stat Diggers, and I was like, this guy has not shot a takedown in the last 3 fights where he should have been grappling in all 3 fights. Watch him go out there and shoot a takedown against this grappler, and he did, dude. Oh, he did. I don't remember what fight it was, but we were like, dude, this is the fight where if you were coaching Jake Matthews, you would tell him no offensive wrestling. So I go, watch Matthews wrestle here, and he did. Yeah, he's and that's the kind of thing, right? You look at Matthews, he's got a 1% ROI, so that's not bad. It means you're meeting the market's expectations over a 23 fight sample size. But the problem with the 1% ROI is that he's won 15 and lost 8. So he's winning fights. As a favorite, he's dropping the ball a lot, dude. A minus 278 average betting line when he's a favorite, but he's 11-6. So he's not winning at a rate that you need to win at when you're being priced as close to a 75% implied favorite. So he's got a negative ROI when he's priced as a favorite here. So, and Carlston Harris has not done well when he's been priced as an underdog, but you got to remember some of the guys that he's losing to are really good fighters. He's losing to Shavkat. He's losing to Chaos Williams. Ponzinibbio is a veteran, So, yeah, I think that Jake is probably a little bit better everywhere than Carlston, but you can't really say anything in the case. Like, Jake Matthews' striking isn't that much better than Carlston's. It's better, but it's not that much better. His wrestling is not that much better than Carlston's. I think Carlston's probably got the better clinch game. And I think Carlston is probably the guy that's more likely to win this fight by submission because Matthews has bad submission defense, and Carlston is a specialist with his front chokes. So I could see some success if Carlston chooses to grapple here. I could see some success if Carlston chooses to try to clinch up and make this a really grimy fight on the fence. We've seen him win the Brave FC championship with a 5-round clinch fight way back in the day. I forget the guy that he beat, but he clinched him up for 25 minutes.
I remember that. That was brutal to watch.
It was a bad fight to watch, but it was also when you're watching that, you're saying, holy shit, Carlston found out in the first guy that this guy couldn't defend the clinch, and then he just went to it in rounds 2 through 5 and won himself a championship because of it. So Carlston Harris is one of these guys that he's got upside. He's a tricky, very unique type of fighter that, especially if you're fighting him on short notice, which Jake Matthews is, it's a tricky matchup. So, yeah, I don't like the Matthews money line at minus 350 here. I think he's the better fighter, certainly the younger fighter with the better career trajectory at this point. And he's won 3 out of his last 4 fights. And frankly, he should be 4-0 in his last 4 fights. It was just referee incompetence that fucked him over in the Magny fight. So, yeah, I mean, I think Jake probably wins here, but this is, a short notice opponent for him, a guy that has a front choke attack. And we know that Matthews' submission defense has never been great. He's been submitted 4 times in the UFC. He's got 8 losses. 4 of them are by submission. So, yeah, I think Carlston Harris by sub is sitting at something like plus 600, 625. That's a good number. And I even think Carlston Harris's money line has probably got some value on it, just because you don't lay minus 350 on Jake Matthews. When was the last time he looked minus 350 against anybody?
Fiallo, he looked really good against
Fiallo. But yeah, and Fiallo just looked really good in an ice fight, Brady. After losing 6 fights in a row, So, but yeah, he looked phenomenal in the Fiallo fight and a great finish in the Chidi fight. He found that foot sweep in the clinch, got to the dude's back, and finished with a rear naked choke. That was really nice. But Jake underperforms those wide money lines quite a bit. So this one feels like it's probably dog or pass for me.
It was so funny. Like, he looked so good in the Fiallo fight. I was like, dang, man, Matthews finally figured it out after all these years. He finally turned a corner, and then he gets 30-27 by Matt Semmelsberger.
I know. Knocked down in all 3 rounds.
All 3 rounds, yeah.
Wild stuff.
It's the Jake Matthews experience, and then he went to the Magniverse in his last fight. It wasn't his fault, but come on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that wasn't his fault, but yeah, he's fighting well right now. He should be on a 4-fight win streak. So let's see what happens here. But yeah, Carlston's not a guy you want to accept a fight against on 1 week's notice. He's just so unorthodox and awkward.
Yeah, Jake's the type of guy to start wrestling Carlston too, which is going to open up some front choke.
I could see him walking into a front choke, dude. I could really absolutely see that. Yeah,
this guy Jake's a dummy. He's gonna grapple here. He's a dummy. I don't think there's a fighter on the roster, Weezy, where I'd be comfortable laying minus 350 on Jake Matthews. Is there a fighter on the current roster where you'd be comfortable saying, "Hey, I'm going to lay minus 350 here on Jake Matthews"? Because I can't name
Flowers. Because I know they fought, right?
Is he still on the roster?
Yeah, he just got to win.
Oh God, you're right, against Lando. Yeah. Darius Flowers. I agree. Yes, Darius Flowers.
I think because Matthews already beat him though, right?
He beat him? Yep.
Yeah. So I'd have to come up with I'd have to come up with somebody that he hasn't beaten.
Yeah, because they won't.
That's just cheating, and I don't know who that would be. Can we bring back Martin Sano?
No, they're not going to let him.
Remember him? He's friends with the Diaz brothers. Maybe we bring him back.
I can't name one guy I'd feel comfortable. Not one. I mean, if anybody in the chat can help us out, is there one fighter on the active roster that you'd feel comfortable laying minus 350 on Jake Matthews? So
this bring back Carlston minus.
Oh God, that was back in the COVID days.
Yeah.
Oh, they brought some bums in back in the COVID days. Oh my God.
Yeah, they did, man. Martin Sano was one of those guys. I remember he bit so hard on a feint that it was hilarious. He bit so it was like, oh my god, has this guy ever like been in a gym? Like, he bit on that feint like he was a fourth grader fighting a high school kid.
He almost got knocked out by the feint. It was almost the first feint knockout in the UFC. I couldn't believe my eyes. It's crazy, man. Absolutely nuts. So yeah, this is bad. God help me, Brady, Uncle Weezy. Am I a fool for putting Jake Matthews in a parlay? Also, Brady, sorry about your Cleveland in the playoffs today. It's so bad. The Cavs might as well have been Isak Lee dribbling a basketball out there. And now the Cavs just played it awful, man. I stopped watching after the first couple of minutes today. They got swept. Terrible. I got Jake Matthews by TKO. And then they restart the fight, and he loses after an adrenaline dump at plus 140. I like that. I think there's some value there. There'll be some value there.
He had him in a mounted triangle in round 2. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember, man.
Like, he still was putting Magny in horrible places in round 2 of that fight after he had already gassed out an adrenaline dump.
Oh, God. I had Matthews in a freaking parlay. I had Matthews by sub. I mean,
was that Murgliata?
Maybe.
Or no, was it Perdios?
It was some random. I think it might have been Perdios.
Might have been Jim Perdios.
Yeah. See, that was bad. That was like a 10-unit swing or something crazy.
Oh, we both got rinsed on that, dude.
Jeez. Sub 1 win against Magny. The ref needs a new job. Agreed. That was during the time where it was like back-to-back weeks where there were just shenanigans. Back-to-back week. Just crazy. Yeah, 1%. Not the best investment there. 1%.
Yeah.
No shade, Andre. You know, no shade.
It was probably a tough weight cut for Andre for that Matthews fight.
Jason Wick got cut. It can't be him. Sam Patterson. I'm not laying minus 350 against Sam Patterson. Jekka Sergey is not.
He's a featherweight
in the same weight class. So yeah, sure. If they fought, but they're not in the same.
I would lay minus 350 on Matthews against Jekka. Yeah, that'd probably be a max bet.
Yeah, we're talking about welterweights though. But
yeah,
Jimmy Flake, of course. Bring back. Did they cut Cerqueira? Oh gosh.
Yeah, 0-4. Yeah, he had a rough run.
Oh gosh, yeah. He showed some toughness in the Walker fight, though.
He did. That was his best performance by a mile.
Themba retired. So
yes.
We're not going to see Themba anymore, unfortunately.
And people were saying that he retired so they couldn't cut him.
Probably right. They're probably right. All right. Let us move on to the next fight. It is Kai Asakura going against Cameron Smotherman. We got Kai Asakura, 32 years old, 5'8" with a 69-inch reach. Smotherman, 28 years old, 5'9" with a 69-inch reach. We got Smotherman 4 years younger, 1-inch height advantage, got the same reach there. Asakura 2-3 in his last 5 fights, made his debut against Alexander Pantoja in a title fight, lost that fight by submission, then lost to Tim Elliott by submission in his next fight. As far as Cameron Smotherman, 3-2 in his last 5 fights, made his debut against Jake Hadley, won that fight by decision, and then lost to Surrey City by decision and Ricky Simone by decision. So, yeah, interesting fight here. Kai Asakura is looking for his first UFC win. Made his debut, really tough debut, obviously, against Alexander Pantoja. Didn't work out well for him. And he was a pretty big favorite against Tim Elliott and got submitted there as well. But, this is a completely different matchup. Pantoja is obviously looking to get him down. Tim Elliott was obviously looking to get him down. Cameron Smotherman's going to strike with him. And I went back and watched Kai's fights outside the UFC, and I was very impressed with the striking. Kind of saw what all the hype was about. He has nasty knees to the body. I've seen him knock out somebody with a knee to the body multiple times. Good knees, good power. But, yeah, the problem's pretty clear. The grappling stinks. But luckily for him, Smotherman's grappling stinks probably even worse. So they're going to strike here. Both guys going to get the fight they want. And I think it's going to be a fun fight. So they're clearly trying to give Kai Asakura a win here. And we're going to see if he can beat Cameron Smotherman. Because we can forgive him for losing to Alexander Pantoja. We can forgive him losing to Tim Elliott. But if he loses to Cameron Smotherman, you can't be forgiven for that. That's about as bad as it gets. So, yeah, give me Asakura here to get his very first win in the UFC, and this is one where they didn't put a total out for a while, but they finally did, and the under is juiced to the tits, -155 to the under 2.5. They're expecting some violence, and I would tend to think so. I mean, if you're getting sparked by Charlampos Gregorio in 60 seconds, I think Asakura can knock you out. And I watched a lot of Smotherman fights. He's getting dropped in every fight he's in, pretty much. So, yeah, Asakura, he's getting a layup. Let's see if he makes the layup. Let's see.
Yeah, and I'm not exactly sure that he's going to, because I just, these guys that come from Japan and then they're going to move up a weight class. These guys already don't cut a lot of weight. Now he's moving up a weight class to
wait, 1 second. Has Smotherman woken up yet, by the way?
Yeah, I think he did,
Woke up? Oh, good. Thank God.
Yeah, I think he did, dude. I mean, let me tell you something. As somebody that's face planted at numerous parties in college, Brady, over the years, like you can come back from that kind of stuff pretty fast. It's like hitting the back of your head on a hard tile floor. That's going to hurt a lot more than just face planting after doing a nitrous balloon at a fraternity party, which I did numerous times, like I said. So I just think that obviously that's a horrible, horrible look. But I remember DC saying this once. And I think if you cut weight enough, if you ever wrestled, if you were ever doing any kind of combat sports where you were cutting weight, you see that shit happen behind the scenes all the fucking time. It does. I mean, like your body, when you're dehydrated, you are very, very susceptible to bad things happening. And we saw it happen with Cameron. I mean, and it's hard to get those images out of your head, because you don't see it that often. Remember when Stolyarenko went down and when she couldn't stand up when she was weighing in that one time? And, you see these people, they look like death warmed over when they get on the scales. And that was one of those things. It happens sometimes, but and Smotherman's been knocked out before, not just, by Gregorio, but also on the regional scene in Fury FC. He got dusted inside of like 30 seconds by some random dude. So, I think that they're trying to set up Asakura with a guy who isn't the most durable and who doesn't have any offensive grappling upside. But at the same time, he's moving up a weight class to fight a guy that's a pure striker. And so Cameron's getting the fight that he wants too. It's not like Cameron Smotherman is afraid to strike with anybody. He will do that, and that's where he wants to be. So I think he's going to get the fight that he wants here, and I think he's going to get it against a smaller opponent who might be a little bit overrated because of where he's fighting and because of the level of opposition that he's fighting. Like you say, we can have the Pantoja loss. I bet Pantoja there. I was willing to back him at juice there, but it's the Tim Elliott loss that worries me, because Tim is a guy who gets submitted, not the other way around usually. So yeah, man, I think that Asakura might be a little bit out of his league in the UFC here. And if he doesn't make this one look easy, I think it's going to be proof positive that he was probably never UFC level to begin with.
Which should be crazy because even like outside the UFC, he's fought some really good guys like Manel Cobb. Like he's beaten Horiguchi. Like this guy has fought an incredible guy. He's fought Cobb a couple times, I think, and Horiguchi a couple times. So
yeah, he had a rivalry with Manel Cobb.
Yeah. So, and he's fought at bantamweight plenty of times before. So we'll see what they look like at weigh-ins if Smotherman survives the weigh-ins. But yeah, man, we'll see. I mean, they're throwing this guy a bone, man.
They are, and they're making the American kid from Texas fly all the way to Macau to fight this dude. So yeah, they don't want to look like a smacked ass signing this guy to a big contract, giving him a fucking title shot where he gets rinsed. And then he loses to a guy with 11 UFC losses the next time. They went out and spent a bunch of money on this guy. They got to find him a win. It's the same shit when they tried to give Patchy Mix Jacob Viklash. That blew up in their faces too. Don't be surprised if this one goes the same way, you guys.
Yeah, I'd be surprised. But the line's not even that wide, though. Asakura is only -250.
Yeah, see, that isn't that wide. Considering all the things going against Smotherman. You have the visual in your head of him face planting like Wheezy at a party in 1995. You got the obviously this guy can't really grapple that well, Smotherman. He's making the long trip to Macau too. So yeah, man, this is definitely Asakura's got to kind of hit this layup, Brady, like you said earlier.
Yeah, we'll see. A lot of people are just very low on him right now, though, but we'll see. Anshul Jubilee is a lightweight, so but yeah,
close.
Dubin is a terrible strawweight who we're going to be talking about in like a couple weeks. Oh, is that next week? Oh, God.
Next week, yeah.
I don't care who she's facing. Bet the other chick. Oh gosh, Dubin's very bad. These guys like to stand a bit. Yeah, these guys like to strike. These guys definitely like to strike. Nobody's gonna be grappling here in this one. Did Smotherman bang his head at the weigh-ins?
I don't think so.
What? Oh, like during the fall, or because the fall was pretty brutal.
Because he face planted, but I don't think his head bounced off the floor. I'd have to look at it though.
Oh, it did.
But somebody you know what the best part of that was Bisping. Do you remember?
He was saying something.
He said, "Yeah, you go out there and you make weight. It's not that hard." And just as he says, "It's not that hard," Smotherman literally face plants. And I mean, and then Bisping goes, "Oh fuck," you know.
So bad. What's worse, getting finished by the scale or getting finished by Charlampos Gregorio?
The scale.
Really?
It's the scale, yeah, because Gregorio at least hits hard. Like that's how he wins fights, you know.
Yeah. True. But the scale hits hard sometimes, so
it hits really hard.
Smotherman with vicious face. Come on. I'd rather bet Smotherman at these odds. Asakura might be a complete fraud. I don't think we can say that yet, but I mean, if he loses to Smotherman, I guess. But he's beaten guys like Horiguchi and stuff. But yeah, we'll see. Asakura minus 250. Cameron Smotherman plus 210. And like I said, they juice the under to the tits because they're sharp, man. They know what's up. I mean, this guy, does the under cash if Smotherman face plants again?
I mean, it could certainly cash because Asakura is so aggressive.
Yeah, I just wish it was a much better number. Minus 155. Jeez. Kai should roll here against a flat-footed Smotherman, way faster, more powerful, perfect fight for him to get back on track. Yeah. Watch Smotherman like dust him in the wrestling. Could you imagine if Smotherman shows up with the wrestling shoes and
with his 7th takedown? You know,
I'm smashing my TV at 7:00 in the morning.
Remember when Puna Soriano came out wrestling that one fight against Baeza, like racked up like 13 minutes control time and 10 takedowns, and everybody's like, "Dude, where the hell was that?" You know, sometimes these guys they surprise you, man.
I know. It's not that Kai is that good. It's more that Smotherman is that bad. Tim Elliott to Smotherman is a giant leap down in competition. UFC knows what they're doing in this matchup. Yeah. Smotherman face playing like me after too many Jack and the Jack and Cokes will hit you for sure.
They will.
For sure. There is no Smotherman argument for Smotherman. The Smotherman is maybe Kai is just not it, you know? Because I mean because you gotta imagine like Kai is much better than freaking like Surrey City. I mean, geez, but yeah, I don't know. Oh, wrong button there. Kai's minus 290 on DK. I see minus 250 on Bet Online. I ain't trusting Asakura. That's fine. He's lost both his fights thus far.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean you have to trust Smotherman either. You know, that's the thing about it. You know, you can just pass on this one.
You can pass. You know, so Corey, you get your Apache mix, and we saw how that went. Your Apache mix, definitely a big disappointment. He lost to Mario Batista and Jakub Viklac and got cut after those two, right?
Yeah, and then he went someplace else and lost, didn't he?
Yeah, he got knocked out by like a 19-year-old or something.
Oh, God.
Cam isn't the better wrestler. No, not at all. I mean, if anything, if anybody's going to grapple, it's Kai, but they're both bad at grappling.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, Kai should destroy this guy. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, but we'll see. Smotherman's tape is so funny. He gets brutally ragdogged, then 2 seconds later he'll pop up complaining about the stoppage. His recovery is crazy. I swear I was watching his fights. He was getting dropped in like every fight. I was like, dang. But yeah, we'll see. Moving on to the next fight. It is going to be Sergey Pavlovich going against Taliesin Teixeira. We got Pavlovich, 34 years old, 6'3" with an 84-inch reach. Teixeira, 26 years old, 6'7" with an 83-inch reach. We got Teixeira 8 years younger, 4-inch height advantage, and a 1-inch reach disadvantage. Pavlovich is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Knockout win against Curtis Blades. Knockout loss to Tom Aspinall. Decision loss to Alexander Volkov. Decision win against Jairzinho Rosenstruck. in a decision win against Waldo Cortez Acosta. As far as Taliesin Teixeira, 4-1 in his last 5 fights, made his debut against Justin Tafa, won that fight by first round knockout, got knocked out by Derek Lewis in the first round, and then beat Tai Tuivasa by decision. So believe it or not, Weezy, Sergey Pavlovich is the biggest favorite on the entire card at minus 600 now. Money's pouring in on Sergey Pavlovich. And I mean, I don't think I can. I mean, that's a bit much. But I mean, my gosh, Taliesin Teixeira is so bad. I mean, I can't get that Tuivasa fight out of my head where this guy's a black belt, right? People always talk, oh, he's a black belt, right? Right?
Yeah.
He takes down Tuivasa, gets into a dominant position instantly, and just lays there for 4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And he's gassed out from doing nothing on the mat against Tai Tuivasa. I mean, whoever gave Taliesin Teixeira a black belt should be arrested, should be going to prison. I mean, that was the worst display of jiu-jitsu I've ever seen in my entire life. Just choke him out, dude. I mean, you had his back. Just choke him out. I mean, Tai Tuivasa is not a real fighter. He's not a real fighter. And then he gassed out after 5 minutes. But luckily for him, Tai Tuivasa is not a real fighter anymore. Yeah. And Tai Tuivasa was even more gassed. I mean, Taliesin's not out grappling Pavlovich. I mean, you're not taking down Pavlovich. This guy Pavlovich is built like a house. You're not taking down a house. He's going to be forced to strike with Pavlovich. And on the feet, Teixeira has power, but he's extremely hittable. That Arthur Lopez fight was a horrible look. Arthur Lopez is a very undersized heavyweight, and he was piecing up Taliesin Teixeira, hitting him with massive shots. I mean, if Arthur Lopez or if Pavlovich is landing those same big shots, you're going down. Teixeira's striking defense is horrible. I think it's like 42%. You have the numbers. I think it's like 42%. Not sure what it is at distance, but it's bad.
It's way worse than that.
Really? Oh God.
Dude, it's 33%.
Okay, Pavlovich by first round knockout then.
33% overall striking defense.
Oh my gosh.
31%
What's that?
Distance striking offense.
The UFC stats counts the Contender Series, so that's why.
Yeah.
That's bad.
It's
and on the Contender Series, it looked even worse than that. So that's a concern. So yeah, Pavlovich KO 1. I think he goes back to his finishing ways. Believe it or not, Pavlovich, Weezy. If I would have told you a couple of years ago, Pavlovich has went 45 minutes. Wait, he went to decision his last 3 fights, right? Yeah. So what if I told you a couple of years ago, Pavlovich, Weezy, he went 45 minutes straight? You would have called me an idiot. You'd have been like,
I know, right?
You said, what? 45 minutes, Sergey. I think he gets back to his finishing ways. I think he hits Teixeira really hard in the face here and knocks him out. I don't think Teixeira is going to be able to grapple. I think Teixeira is going to be forced to stand and trade. I think that's going to end very poorly. It's kind of funny seeing the total. Like I was looking at the total either last night or the night before. It was sitting at minus 150 for the under. I just laughed. I was like, dude, if this fight was before the Tuivasa fight, because Teixeira hadn't been out of the first round since that before that fight, and then if this was before like the Volkov fight, I mean, we'd be looking at the most juiced under in UFC history at like minus 600. So I thought it was funny. It was like minus 150, but Pavlovich has been to decision his last couple fights. But yeah, I think he gets back to his finishing ways. I think it's a brutal knockout. I think Teixeira kind of gets fraud checked for like the third time in a row. I thought he got fraud checked a little bit against Lewis. You know, say what you want about the stoppage. I think even in a win, he got fraud checked. I mean, that's a fraud check in my opinion in that win. And I think he gets checked again here, Weezy.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, like the thing about Taliesin Teixeira is that I think the UFC just bobbled how they dealt with this prospect because this division sucks, right?
Yeah.
But like because it sucks, these guys, you know, like the matchmakers get so excited when they find anybody with even a little bit of promise. I mean, think about Josh Hokett, right? The guy who beats Max Jimenez, he beats Denzel Freeman, and then they're putting him on a main card against, you know, Curtis Blades. And he shouldn't have even won that fight. Like that was such a massive step up in competition for him. To ask him to win that fight was too much. But then you see him do it too with Teixeira. You know, like he goes out there and he knees Justin Tafa in the nuts and knocks him out because of that. And they're like, then they feed him to Derek Lewis. You know, and it's like, dude, you've got 30 names in the division between Justin Tafa and Derek Lewis that makes so much more sense than giving him the knockout king of the division. And he gets knocked out there. Yeah, some people didn't like the stoppage, but you can't use the fence twice to pull yourself up while you're eating big shots from the knockout king and then not think that the fight's not going to get stopped. And then the Tuivasa, even that, I think they shouldn't have even given him Tuivasa. They should have given him someone like Louis Sutherland. He shouldn't be fighting Sergey Pavlovich.
Oh God!
After these last 2 performances that he's had, they're going to give him Sergey Pavlovich.
Dude, give me Sutherland against Teixeira. Give me Louis Sutherland as the dog, man.
I know, dude. Like, this guy is only 26 years old, and he's super tall and long for the division. He's got some power. He's got some BJJ.
No, he doesn't.
If you brought this guy slowly along, he could be pretty good, Brady, right? I mean, like, he's a 26-year-old heavyweight. The guy's got some promise. There's some upside. There's a high ceiling there if you bring him along the right way. But this guy's got 4 fights at the UFC now level. One of them's Pavlovich. One of them's fucking Tuivasa, and the other one's Derek Lewis. They rushed him too fast here. And I don't see any other way that this goes, because Pavlovich went 25 minutes on the regional scene before he got here. And now he's shown that he can go 15 minutes in a fight. But the one thing that we can't forget is that Sergey Pavlovich's UFC career is 11 fights, 62 minutes, right? But the last 3 fights took 45. That means the first 8 fights took 17 minutes, Brady. So what does this guy do when he looks the best version of himself? He's icing dudes in inside of 2 minutes. And Talison Teixeira with those neural ass legs. I think he's going to land a couple of leg kicks and then one good straight right down the middle, and that'll be nighty night. Keep your butthole tight. Or actually, it'll be a good straight left down the middle because Pavlovich is a southpaw. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you go back and watch that Waldo fight. I mean, Waldo ate some bombs. So, yeah, I mean, Sergey tried to knock out Waldo, that's for sure. In the Rosenstruck fight, he wrestled. He's not wrestling here. I mean, Teixeira is not eating those same shots that Waldo ate.
No, Waldo's got a cannonball for a head, and Teixeira's shown a pretty good chin so far. Like, he was still trying to recover in the Derek Lewis fight. It's just, if you wouldn't have used the fence to get back up, you might have actually gotten back into that fight. You never know. Yeah.
Or TKO'd ground and pound. We don't, it's hard to know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a weird stoppage. 82 likes. Okay, maybe we can get 100.
Right. Yeah, I think we can get 100.
We got a couple fights to break down. I'm done with Pavlovich if he doesn't brutalize Talison. Yeah, I mean, it should. If he goes out there and goes 15 minutes, it'd just be embarrassing. Just be an embarrassment. So yeah, Pavlovich, biggest favorite on the card, -600. Teixeira +450. The over under set at 1.5. The over 1.5 +152. The under 1.5 at -173. I should have bet the under at -150. Maybe he'll get back to there. Let's see. Pavlovich inside the distance, -315. Yes.
Yikes.
Pavlovich KO -275. Yes.
Those are big numbers.
Pavlovich by decision +500. There we go.
That's pretty juicy.
He's went to decision his last couple fights. So
yeah,
they're kind of fight doesn't go -600. They're juicing the violence. They're sharp, man. They know. They don't care that his last 3 fights have went 45 minutes. They know what's going to happen here. They know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? I mistake the guy for Pereira's prodigy. Who? Talison?
Yeah, I think Talison is trained with those guys over in Danbury, Connecticut a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I saw some clips of that.
Yeah.
I think we finally see Pav KO again. It's been a while, and Talison's tear. I think we finally see it. It's been a long time coming. It's been a very long time coming. Patchy Mix needs some help. Went to Resident, got dusted in round 2 of his first fight there. Yeah, he needs some help for sure. For sure needs help. No, I don't know about that. I mean, that's Talison Teixeira is the heavyweight Kevin Christian. That might be too far. That might be too far, man. I mean,
I think Talison's better than that, dude.
That's too far, man. I don't know. That string being they call Talison is getting folded. He's getting priced as if he is, man. -600 is kind of wild for a heavyweight fight where both guys have power. Brady Uncle Weezy, what is the most and best underrated fight on this card in your opinion? I don't know.
If we're talking underrated, I would say it's the Vera Kangji fight, because I think Vera's solid. Like I said, he's pretty good everywhere. Good conditioning, good durability, good pace, And then Ju, he's got good power. He's got clean, crisp striking. So I think that's going to be a really fun fight.
And for me, it's not the most skilled fight at all, but if entertainment-wise, Ding Ming, Jose Henrique's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Because Ding Ming's a marauder. Blades is washed. I don't know if he's washed, but he's taken a ton of freaking damage. People are going to bet Taliesin solely because they've seen him training videos with Photon.
Yeah.
Give me Tanner Bozer versus Taliesin to share. That'd be a good scrap. Be a good scrap, man. I'm sure Lewis isn't scared to lose at the White House, but be like WTF Trump. Before Tom Aspinall fight, Pavlovich was truly the white Ngannou scary dude. Yeah. Since I think Aspinall might have took his soul or something, because he just doesn't look like the same guy. Taliesin has the weirdest physique. He's tall and not fat, but not muscular at all. People say he looks like a bag of milk. I feel like that's perfect to describe Taliesin. Yeah, he's huge, man. Who has a weirder physique, Taliesin or Christian? Probably Christian. Christian's physique is weird too. I think Taliesin and me might do good for only one round. Yeah, because that Tuivasa fight was awful. I think if Taliesin wins, he's probably catching Pavlovich early. Too far, it's not far enough. Oh, God. I don't know, man. Kevin Christian's probably the second worst fighter to ever step foot in the UFC, right behind Isak Lee. Call me crazy, but Kevin Christian could beat Taliesin. I mean, Kevin Christian's like a light heavyweight, though. I don't know, man. Kevin Christian, I don't think is ever getting a win. All right, let's move on to the co-main event of the evening. It's going to be Zhang Mingyang going against Alonzo Menafield. We got Zhang, 27 years old, 6'2" with a 75-inch reach. Menafield, 38 years old, 6 foot with a 76-inch reach. We got Zhang, 11 years younger, 2-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach disadvantage. Zhang is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Knockout win against Tuco Tokos, knockout win against Brenton Ibero, knockout win against Ozzy Diaz, knockout win against Anthony Smith, and then a knockout loss against Johnny Walker. As far as Menafield, 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Knockout loss to Olberg, knockout loss to Mirzakhanov, decision win against Julius Walker, decision win against Umar Sy, and a knockout loss to Volkan Oezdemir. So, I mean, it's pretty funny to see what the UFC is doing here. I mean, they're clearly trying to get, kind of like the Asakura fight, they're clearly trying to get Zhang Mingyang back on track, going from Johnny Walker to Alonzo Menafield. Menafield flying all the way to China at 38 years old after taking a ton of damage. He's been knocked out 4 times at this point. They're clearly trying to get a Zhang Mingyang first-round knockout. And I think that's probably what happens. Menafield, he does have some paths. The first path would be surviving 5 minutes. Like if he survives 5 minutes, his chances of winning skyrocket, in my opinion, just because Zhang Mingyang, I don't think he has any wins outside of the first round. Maybe like one or like not.
Like 0, dude.
That's
0.
That's insane. This guy has like what, almost 30 fights. I mean, that's crazy. So yeah. If Menafield survives 5 minutes, his chances skyrocket. I think Menafield could potentially wrestle and grapple here. Maybe that could be another path, but I don't know, man. I'm not high on Menafield, especially as of late. Like even like going life and death with Julius Walker. Like what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? And he got rocked multiple times by Julius Walker. So I think the UFC probably gets what they want. Probably a Zhang Mingyang to get back on track with an early finish. But if you lay minus 240 on Zhang Mingyang and this fight starts the second round, might as well start ripping up the ticket, I think. What do you think about this fight?
I think you're shredding that ticket the second Mingyang Zhang goes back to the stool after round 1, man. I mean, we just saw it last time out, dude. The guy's never won a fight outside of round 1, and he's got 26 professional fights. And the cardio is not good. The grappling is okay, I guess. He will shoot a takedown every once in a while. But Menafield is just not exactly knocking the cover off the ball either. The Omar Sy win was more about Omar Sy not really doing anything than anything that Menafield did to
Oh,
frustrate him or anything like that. But I mean, you also got to look at it through this lens. Let's look at Menafield's 3 most recent losses. Volkan Ozdemir would absolutely destroy Min Yang Zhang. Azamat Mirzakhanov would absolutely destroy Min Yang Zhang.
the 60-year-old?
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
Azamat's so much faster than him.
He's like
so
80
much more technical than him. He'd knock him out in the first round, dude. Azamat would absolutely destroy him. I'm very confident
with
about
his
that.
cane, or he's gonna hit him with his cane, or he's 90.
Dude, Alonzo Menafield will be that grandpa that's outrunning his grandson, Like, I mean, he's
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? It's like, holy shit, I didn't know grandpa was that fast,
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Like it's a little bit tricky, but asking Alonzo Menafield at 38 years old to fly all the way to China and beat this dude that frankly has a brick for a head. Like you're going to need to get him tired to knock him out. You're not going to like sleep him in round 1. So yeah, it should be Min Yang Zhang. And the guy's got unreal power. He really does. So, and his head is like a cannonball too. He's another one of these guys that's going to be ridiculously difficult to knock out if you don't get him tired. So, and it's a good thing that this is a 3-round fight, because that was the thing about Min Yang Zhang. He's not a 5-round fighter. He shouldn't have been headlining, man. He went back to the stool after round 1 and was like, what? I've got no fucking chance. There's 4 rounds left in this fight.
Yeah.
So like, I think that was a little bit, the fact that this is a 3-round fight, even if Zhang gasses out, he still might be able to win round 2 against somebody like Menafield, who doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
It's not like Menafield's this crazy explosive KO power guy late in fights. We haven't really seen that out of him.
He used to be some crazy explosive guy.
Yeah, well, he's, a former Arena Football League player and a super strong and explosive and athletic guy, but he's 38 now. He's, he's got a lot of football damage on his frame as well as MMA damage, getting knocked out by guys like Ulberg, Mirzakhanov, Ozdemir. Those are bad knockouts.
Oh, the OSP knockout was brutal too.
Oh man, straight left. He just folded him. I remember that one too.
It was brutal to my bankroll as well.
Yeah, he was not supposed to win that fight. Vince. I mean,
yeah, I just haven't been impressed with Menafield in so long, and it's like he's 38 now.
Yeah,
the last, I don't know, when's the last impressive performance he had? Was it Omar C, where Omar C didn't do anything? Was it when he probably could have lost to Julius Walker? That fight was as 50-50 as it gets.
I bet on Menafield in that fight, dude, and I went to the scorecards going, I don't know who won that one.
It was so bad. I think the last time I was impressed with Menafield might have been Misha Serkinov back in like 2022. It was like 4 years ago. So,
and even like the Jacoby fight, he just kind of like caught a flash knockdown in 2 out of the 3 rounds, but got out-minuted, but still won the fight on damage, right?
Yeah, I had that big moment.
Yeah,
submitted Crute. That was kind of crazy.
Those were great fights.
Yeah,
both Jim Crute fights were great fights.
Yeah.
So that's that. I think that this is probably dog or pass, but man, when it's the narrative issues that get in the way. Sometimes I'm willing to be like, what? Screw the narratives. I don't care if he's 38 and flying to China. It's not like Min Yang Zhang is going to win this fight by any other way but first round KO.
Which is probably a terrible price. Let's see.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
It's not as bad as I thought. It opened up plus 175. It's now plus 145. It's actually not. It should be like minus 1 freaking 10 because
it should be. Yeah, it should be like plus 100 or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's funny.
Yeah, this guy's not winning fights any other way.
Yeah, it's literally KO 1. So
yeah,
I'm not laying minus 240 on Zhang, but I'm also not betting on Menafield. I mean, I just have not been impressed in so long, and it's not like he's getting any younger. It's not like he's making improvements or getting better. If anything, he's taking more damage and looking worse. So yeah, I'm passing on this fight from a money line standpoint. Have fighting like he has some stakes to pay. Yeah, and maybe he likes steak. I don't know. Maybe he likes steak. Kevin Christian would get slept by Pat Sabatini. Oh, Benefield probably gets KO, but man, minus 240 Zhang, and nothing wrong with passing, man. I mean, I'm not laying
Yeah.
minus 240 on Zhang here, but I can't get to Benefield. I don't know, but yeah, it is probably a dog or pass. Benefield versus Volkan was all I needed to see. Zhang KO1. Yeah, I mean, I think Ozdemir's power is some of the most overrated power in UFC history. This guy's like 2 knockouts the last 10 years. Ozdemir, he couldn't knock out Paul Craig. So yeah, and Ozdemir ran through Benefield.
We both lost a bag on that under.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, this guy couldn't knock out Paul Craig, and they call him No Time.
Yeah.
Oh man, he has like 2 knockouts in like the last 10 years or something. That's crazy. Benefield can be okay. Ask Julius Walker. Yeah, I thought Julius maybe even won that fight. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Hibero, Ozzy Diaz, Anthony Smith, and Johnny Walker, not exactly murderers row. Yeah, man, they're not.
And he lost to Walker.
Yeah. Well, Walker. To be fair, Walker had a phenomenal game plan. The game plan was to not engage with them for the first 5 minutes. That was
kick the legs, and it worked.
Yeah. Walker had a phenomenal game plan. Is Benefield gonna be able to do that? Is he gonna be able to use the footwork and kick the legs? Get the fight to the second round, maybe.
He's a heady dude. Anybody that's been in the same room with Pat Barry for extended stretches of time will have their IQ go up big time. And it's because Pat Barry's IQ is so low, it actually makes yours go up just being near him. Like if you want to pass a math test, have Pat Barry sit next to you. It'll make you extremely confident.
Yeah, no, I agree. Zhang minus 240, Benefield plus 205. If Benefield is plus 200, that's a good bet. Yeah, he's plus 205. I mean, it could look like a good bet, or it could look like a really bad bet. There's really no in between. He's either going to get knocked out.
Zhang fight, yeah.
He's going to get knocked out in 60 seconds, or it's going to extend and get greasy. Lonzo by leg kick KO. Definitely wise to kick those legs. Parlay all the male Asian fighters and you'll be good. So, okay, Song Yudong. Okay, I like it. Zhang Mingyong.
Okay.
Kaya Sakura. Okay.
Yi Sak Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
Maybe he means like Chinese fighters, or I don't know, because we got Song Yudong.
I don't want to parlay Aricha Lang. I don't want to parlay Yi Sak Lee.
Well, isn't Yi Sak Lee South Korean, or is he Chinese?
He's South Korean.
Okay.
Lee.
Yeah, we could leave him out. I mean, we're not. Yeah, Arichi Long is Chinese, right? So, oh god, I don't like this, man. I don't like it. I don't want to parlay all the Asian fighters. I don't want to do it. Zhang has a very good chin. They will brawl, and Zhang will emerge victorious. Yeah, I hope they brawl. It'd be a fun fight if they brawl. Could see a world where Alonzo pulls it off. Of course, there's a world. Steak, maybe, man. You never know.
Never know.
Poor Julius Walker. Yeah, me and Weezy were both heavy on Dustin Jacoby. That was a nice hit. Johnny Walker, possibly the lowest IQ fighter, had a good game plan. Yeah, he had a good game plan. The game plan was to not engage with Ming Yang for the first round, and it worked out beautifully. Stay on the outside, and then he followed it up with doing absolutely nothing against Dominic Ray. I mean, that fight was awful, absolutely terrible. Yeah. Pat Barry's IQ is below 18. Oh God, oh my God. Go watch Benefield Volkan again and tell me you're betting Benefield Saturday. You're not. I'm not betting Benefield. Parlay all the Asians with small peckers. Well, I don't have that information. Weezy, do you have that in the stats?
Yeah, that's another. I got a lot of work to do, Brady. I don't got that in the database either, man.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
Aricha Long definitely wins. Definitely wins. It's crazy that he's plus 270 underdog. Cody Haddon has nothing on the feet. Slow, stiff, and awkward. Must be talking about a different Cody Haddon. I love Cody Haddon striking, to be honest. But I mean all of them except Isak Lee. Yeah. But he should still win. I don't know, man.
I don't know about
that. Best of luck with your all Asian parlay. If it hits, you'll get some props next show. Check out Wiki. I will not be going to WikiDick. You will not be finding me on WikiDick. Absolutely not. All right, let's move on to the next fight. It's gonna be the main event. Before we do, so if you guys have not already, be sure to smash the like button. We got to get at least 100 likes. And let's see where we're at for the legs. We got to get at least 100. I mean, it's UFC Macau, right? UFC Macau. We
I
deserve.
mean, like, yeah, you would think it's the gambling capital of Asia.
Let's take a look. We have 87 legs. Oh gosh.
Yee. Well, we can get 13 more during the Figueiredo Yadong fight.
Yeah, I think we could. All right, let's talk about Davis and Figueiredo versus Song Yadong. We got Song Yadong at 28 years old, 5'8" with a 67-inch reach. Davis and Figueiredo, 38 years old, 5'5" with a 68-inch reach. We got Song Yadong, 10 years younger, 3-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach disadvantage. Song Yadong 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Knockout win against Ricky Simone. Decision win against Chris Gutierrez. Decision loss against Peter Yan. Decision win against Henry Cejudo. And a decision loss against Sean O'Malley, which I thought he had a bet on O'Malley. I don't know. That was a close fight.
Yeah, it was.
As far as Figgy, 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Decision win against Marlon Vera. Decision loss against Peter Yan. Knockout loss to Corey Sandhagen. Decision win against Montel Jackson. And a decision loss against Umar Nurmagomedov. And yeah, I think Figgy's getting towards the end of it. I mean, this guy has been fighting for a very long time now. He's 38 years old at a lower weight class. You know, he's been in a ton of 5-round wars, and he's had a ton of wars with the weight cut. I mean, this guy's really struggled to get down to flyweight for years and years, and now he's struggling to get down to bantamweight. He missed weight in his fight against Umar, and he looked awful. He probably looked the worst he's ever looked against Umar. Missed weight at bantamweight. Yeah, I think we're starting to see the end of Figgy potentially, and now he's going all the way to China. The last time he fought in China, he got 50-45 times 3 against Petr Yan. So, yeah, should be Song Yadong here. The question for me is how? Does he knock out Figgy, who's super durable, who has been knocked out twice, but one was basically a submission from Sandhagen, and then the other one was a doctor stoppage in the Moreno fight? Or does he win by decision potentially? I don't know, but I really like Song Yadong. I don't see how he messes this one up. Hometown guy, volume advantage, very good takedown defense. Song Yadong has an elite get-up game. Song Yadong has an elite chin, never been knocked down his entire career. So, and Figgy, not a minute winner ever. He's never been a minute winner. Even at flyweight when he was champion, he's never been a minute winner. He's a moment winner. He's going to win moments against Song Yadong. I doubt it. For me, I love Song Yadong in this matchup, but he's minus 550. I don't really know what to do with this fight yet. Don't know if I'm going to parlay him or what, but very confident he gets it done. Weezy, what are your thoughts on the main event?
Yeah, it's just too bad it's minus 550. You know, Song Yadong's 10 years younger than this dude. You know, he's the natural bantamweight while Figgy's moved up from 125 to 135. Figgy's lost 3 of his last 4 fights, but Song Yadong's lost 2 out of his last 3. They're both losing to elite competition. Umar Nurmagomedov, Corey Sandhagen, and Yan for Figueiredo the last 3, and then it's Sean O'Malley and Peter Yan for Song Yadong. But Song Yadong won round 1 against Peter Yan. Song Yadong won at least one of the 3 rounds against O'Malley. It was a very close fight that easily could have went either way. So I think if you played Song Yadong last time out at plus 180 against O'Malley, that was the good bet. You just didn't get rewarded for it. So Figgy is going to be somebody that over a 5-round fight is going to probably either need to find a takedown at some top time or need to find big moments in 2 or 3 of these rounds in order to get his hand raised here, because you're not really going to knock down or knock out Song Yadong. The guy's very, very durable, and he's just not somebody that people are winning a bunch of minutes in the wrestling exchanges against. Song Yadong has only been controlled less than 9% of his UFC octagon time. He's got 74% takedown defense. He allows 1.14 takedowns per 15 minutes. And like I say, he's a very efficient grappler. He gets less takedowns than his opponents do. He attempts less than half the amount of offensive takedowns that his opponents attempt against him. Yet he's winning 61% of the control time positions in his fights. So I think Song's the much better. Well, I don't want to say the much better minute winner, but the better minute winner. And I think that this is going to come down to minutes. And I think that the durability advantage and obviously the youth and career trajectory definitely on the Song Yadong side. So, but I just don't want to lay minus 550 on a guy that's lost 2 out of his last 3 fights. You know, it's not like people are running through Figueiredo easily right now at this point in his career. So I think Sandhagen finished him, but it was because of a knee injury, right? It wasn't because he was like finishing him or knocking him out. It was because Figueiredo blew out his knee in that fight. And, it's Umar's not finishing him. Peter Yan's not finishing him. Marlon Vera's not even finishing him. Montel Jackson's a good finisher. He goes out there, he beats Montel Jackson, he beats Marlon Vera, he beats Rob Font, So he's still fighting at a fairly high level, and people are talking about Figueiredo like he's turbo washed and done. And this is just not as hard of a fight as the last 3 losses that he's had. So I don't know, man. I think that this is going to play out a lot closer than what the money line is suggesting. I don't want to back Davison because I don't really know what the win looks like.
Yeah, I don't know. Like even like his distance striking numbers suck, dude. I mean, one of the last time he's outlanded somebody at distance? Take a guess.
I mean,
it'll shock you.
Wow, was it like Alex Perez where there was a first round submission and they might have landed 5 combined distance strikes?
That was a tie. When's the last time he outlanded somebody at distance?
I don't even know.
It was Joseph Morales back in 2018.
Wow,
last time he's
Morales
outlanded somebody at distance. 2018. Weezy, it's 2026, man.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, the guy only attempts 6 distance strikes per minute.
I know, he doesn't do anything.
The divisional average is almost 12. He's less than 50% as active as most of the people in the division.
Weezy, Montel Jackson outlanded him.
Yeah, and Montel very rarely does anything. Yeah.
Montel does not. Montel's lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. But yeah, like I said, it's like you said, it sucks he's minus 550. What are we supposed to do?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's implying, something like an 85% win percentage. So it leaves very little room for error, and now you got to decide, is he going to find a finish or is he going to win by decision? Because otherwise you're laying minus 550.
Yeah, I kind of think decision, actually, because Figgy's never been knocked out.
Yeah.
So kind of think a decision. Yeah, he's been submitted by Moreno. Song's not going to submit him. Maybe like a 4-5 decision, just in case it's a late finish.
Yeah.
And Figgy doesn't take a lot of risks. He's not going to do a whole ton this fight, I don't think. He's going to try to do as little as possible, throw as little as possible. Like, he doesn't do anything, so.
Yeah, and it's because he's such a good moment winner that he kind of slows down the output of his opponents as well, because he can't just go rushing in against Davison because he can clip you. And if he does, it might be the end of the fight because he's got that kind of power. So it's going to be interesting how this one plays out. I think it plays out a lot closer than what the money line says is going to play out, but I also feel like Song's just a little bit better everywhere, man. So it's like, I don't exactly know how Davison gets his hand raised here.
Yeah, I think this fight could actually suck, to be honest. I think it'd be a terror. I think this fight could stink. It
might. You never know, man. I mean, it's not the most compelling main event.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, they're clearly trying to get Song in. I mean, they're setting some of these guys up this week, Weezy. They're bringing in Davison, 38-year-old Davison Figueiredo to give him to Song in the main event. They're bringing in 38-year-old Alonzo Menafield to give Zhang Mingyang a potential win. They're bringing in Cameron Smotherman, who just died during the weight cut 6 months ago, to try to get Kaya Sakura win. They're trying to set some of these guys up, it looks like. I think they're even trying to set up Zhang Jingyang, giving her 41-year-old Angela Hill. I don't know. I feel like they're trying to set a lot of these fighters up this week, Weezy.
They're trying. All these major sports leagues, they want that China money, right? There's a billion of them. And if you can sell your product to them, you'll make a ton of money just on the sheer volume of people that live in that country. But the reality is that they've been trying to set up Chinese fighters with wins for years. And how's it working? Other than Zhang, Weili Zhang, it's not working well. You got Kong Wang being knocked out by Gabriela Fernandez and then submitted. You got Li Jingling absolutely getting murdered by Carlos Prates. Li Jingling is probably the second best Chinese fighter. And he was just okay. Wei Li's phenomenal. But like the men, they're just not really getting the job done, are they?
No. We'll see if they get it done this week. I think they set a couple of these guys up really good, so we'll see. Figgy headlining an event. What years? Especially after that Umar fight. I mean, Figgy. I don't care. Like, he should have been cut for that fight. I mean, he landed 8 strikes over the course of 15 minutes, and you can say, oh, it's Umar. He took him down. That fight was at distance for over 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and Figgy landed 8 strikes. That was very disappointing, and he missed weight. Mang and Ding Meng. Okay, I like it. Song Yadong, I like it. Kerr, I like it. Yisak Lee, that's where you lose me right there with the Yisak Lee. You lost me there, but he says the ding dong ass sack parlay. I like everything, but Yisak Lee, I just can't get there. I just can't personally get there. But that's an interesting parlay, man. I don't mind it. I like listening to Brady and Weezy talk about fights, so hit the like button. Appreciate that, Rem Dog. Let's see here. Talking about dick sizes for some reason. Song Yadong is only 20. He says he's 28. He's not 20.
Yeah. He turned pro at 15, if you believe the 28-year age. But like, I remember Brandon and Santino talking about this, how like the word on the street is that he's like 33.
Yeah, he's probably like 33.
Yeah. For
sure. MMA, Matt saying, I made a WikiFeet joke with my normie friend group and they looked at me with confusion and disgust. Yeah, sounds about right, man. Sounds about right. Can we be real for a sec? Story of Song's life is losing a fight he could win because he doesn't do enough. That's the only way Figgy wins this. Think of the Montel fight. Song could sell this. Yeah, I think that's probably the path. Would be like a Figgy close decision in China. Because I don't think Figgy's finishing Song Yadong. That'd be kind of shocking.
Yeah.
Yadong by eye pokes into a right hook. Okay. We got Dr. Peter in the building.
Yes.
Song is a phenomenal parlay piece at minus 415, which I got him at the time. He's still bettable at minus 500. Yeah, I'd be shocked if Song lost this fight, but it's minus 550. I would surely go for Song only because he's 28. He's not 28, man. He's like probably like 30, like 33. It sounds about right.
He's listed at 28. Like that's the Chinese birth certificate says 28. It's probably 33.
Yeah, Song's output is nowhere near the level of Song Yadong makes Montel Jackson look, I don't know, but Montel just doesn't do anything. I don't know why I'm feeling a Figgy upset. Yeah, I don't know, man. 38 years old, undersized, low volume, bantamweight, going to be a pass for me, dog. Song all day. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Song Yadong's not a chump. He's a nice guy, actually. Song Yadong's a very, very nice guy. Figgy going to need to milk him to win. It's going to be hard to milk Yadong. Yadong by dong strike. What?
Yikes.
Brady, can you shout out my friend Brandon Piper at MMA Wagers who is watching for the first time? We're breaking his cherry on Stat Diggers. Okay, big shout out to Brandon Piper at MMA Wagers. What is up? Good to have you in here. Glad to
probably Piper 4142.
There he is.
Yeah.
What's up, Piper? Appreciate that. There we go. Love that. Dong strikes are underrated. Yeah. Not a sack guy. Yeah, I'm not a sack guy, man. Figgy is so undersized. He's a flyweight fighting up and to be honest, he might go to featherweight soon though, because dude can't make weight at bantamweight anymore. Crazy. Will there be a fight companion for this card? There will be. The question is, will we show up for it? It's going to be scheduled. The question is, will we make it to the stream? That's yet to be seen, but there will be a fight companion, yes. Song first round KO. Yeah, that'd suck because I'm thinking about like an over or like a Song 4-5 decision. So hopefully Figgy can at least last 5 to 10 minutes. Piper stand up. Speaking of Piper, we're about to be talking about the piping in a second.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up with a piping of the week. We're going to come up with a milking of the week. Well, we're going to give you guys 4 options to vote on, and you guys completely shit the bed, man. You guys shit the bed in the piping 2 weeks ago. This was your fault. You guys voted for this. You guys did this.
Yeah.
You guys did it. The piping of the week, Malcolm Wellmaker to pipe Juan Diaz on week. Not only did Malcolm off, maybe not pipe him. Juan Diaz ran through him like a hot knife through butter. I mean, it was Malcolm's. It looked like Malcolm was fighting with two broken hands because he didn't throw him.
He didn't throw his hands at all.
I don't think he landed a head strike, a punch. I don't think he landed a couple kicks. Did he fight with two broken hands? What's going on? Did he pull a Lucas Almeida?
He fought like he had a nephew that was kidnapped by the gangster disciples. That's how he fought.
He has all this power. Why he didn't throw his hands? What are we doing? I don't get it.
Losing me 5 units. That's what he was doing this week.
So yeah, you guys crapped the bet on the piping, but that's okay because the milking. You nailed it, man. The milking of the week was Alice Artelene to milk Polyana Viana this Saturday. I had the KO so close in the first round.
Yeah.
And then I thought they might call it like an injury, but no, it was an actual submission. It was what'd they end up calling that?
Capsule lock. They called it a capsule lock, which is kind of like a calf slicer, but from guard. Very interesting because Polyana put her leg inside there when she had the body triangle. And we were talking about that while we were watching it. And I was saying over and over again, why is her leg inside? She can't do anything from there. I think there's a sweep that you can get from there, but it didn't look like she was trying to get it. And then eventually Alice was like, oh, wait, if I just push this leg forward, she'll tap. And she did.
Yeah, so I didn't know it was a submission at first because like what the heck, but I thought Polyana like got hurt and I thought it was gonna be like an injury TKO. I had the KO at like plus 975. So yeah, we'll vote for the milking and the piping. You guys nailed the milking. We got some work to do on the piping, guys. I mean that's about as bad as it gets. All right, so we'll start with the milking first. We'll do the thing where you give an option, I'll give an option, you give an option, I'll give an option, and then we'll let the voters vote for the milking of the week. So what do you think here?
I'm going to start off with a pretty obvious one here, and that's Luis Diaz to milk You Suck Lee.
I like that one. Milking. Give me Alex Perez to potentially milk Sumidarji. I think somebody could get milked in that fight. 12 submission losses between the two. Give me Alex Perez to milk Sumidarji, who's been milked by Matt Schnell, who's been milked by Tim Elliott, who's been milked by, I think, even like Louis Smoka. I think this guy's been milked so many times. Give me Alex Perez to milk him this week.
Great. I'm going to go with Jacqueline Amorim to potentially milk Lomer Lukbunmi. And I would be a first round sub if that was the case because she can't do anything after 5 minutes, but it would still be a milking if it was a first round submission. So I think that's actually pretty live. Maybe
she has 7.5 minutes here because she's fighting an atom weight. You never know.
Yeah, you never know, man. Maybe Jacqueline Amorim got on a treadmill for this camp too. We can dream, can't we?
We can all dream. She's been at the beach and stuff. She's getting that fun.
I saw that. Yeah, like if I were, I'd put like a sack over her head, throw her in the trunk of a car, and then drop her off in Gilroy, California, with Daniel Cormier, and be like, "You need to help this young lady."
I'm gonna take. It's one of these Wheezy where you could argue like you can make a case like this could be a piping, but I also think with his marauding style, he could potentially milk Jose Henrique. Give me Ding Ming.
Okay.
To milk would be a standing milk, and we haven't seen many of them, Weezy. We saw Carlos Leal do it.
Yeah.
I think it could look like that, like the second standing milking in Stat Digger's history. Give me Ding Ming.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Right, so we'll let the voters vote on the milking and make sure everybody votes. If you're sleeping, wake the hell up. Wake the hell up. Perez versus Sue is a 50-50. It's almost priced as if I think Perez minus 450 or minus 150, my bad, on the money line. That sack is definitely getting milked. Yeah, Weezy, I actually really like both your options that you gave. You kind of took both my picks, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, like there's some decent options, but there's some really good piping options on this card as well, though.
Dude, there is. So we're gonna have fun picking some. We might have like 6 options for. We might need 2 pulls for the pipings. I mean, like 8 pipings on this card. Polyana submitted herself, basically.
Yeah.
Let's see. getting your nephew kidnapped by the gangster disciples. So a round 2 KO Kid Cash has got to be a peak UFC moment. I love how everyone just decided to pretend that never happened. Yeah, nobody's talking about it, man. Like, shouldn't that be a big story?
Dude, remember Dana White at the press conference called Marlo Stanfeld an idiot for posting that, not knowing that he posted it 6 hours before the fight happened.
I know.
He's like, this guy's out here saying afterwards that I'm like, no, he didn't say it afterwards, man. He said it before the card even started, bro. And he had tickets to prove it too. Like, he made so much money on that. And I was like, man, I'm following this dude on Twitter. Like, that was bonkers that he called that.
And then he said that Chimaev like fell in the bathtub and then Chimaev lost.
And he said that Sean Strickland was a generational wealth spot too. I'm following that dude on Twitter. I'm telling you right now, man.
I know, like this, it's crazy. Forrest said a capsule lock won't happen again in the next 25 years. Yeah, it won't. Literally, maybe even longer. I mean, it's crazy. Big Pav would be in the piping category. We'll talk about him.
Yeah.
Loma. Yeah, I think Loma. If Loma wins, she could potentially milk too. I think somebody can get milked in the Amarine fight. Amarine by sub or Loma via decision. Yep. Jackie Amarine to make that tea with Loma's milk. Gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, that sack pack probably getting milked. Oh gosh. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what's going on there. How late am I? About as late as it gets, buddy. I mean, the show's about over. The show's about over. Angela Hill milking, maybe. The milking is what? The milking is how you explain it? Like, it's a milking, man. Like, what the best example would be that Sean Brady Leon Edwards fight.
Yeah,
where Sean Brady just took down Leon Edwards, milked him, gave him hell on the ground, and then finally subbed him. We typically would like to get that sub in there for the milking, but it's basically like a prolonged like beatdown, typically on the mat.
Every George St. Pierre fight that ever happened, you're just getting taken down, controlled, milked.
Yeah, exactly. Sure, getting piped. What's the parlay this week? Haven't researched at all. There's actually some good parlay pieces. I have been trying to stay away from the parlays. Maybe I have to make one. I don't know. Cody Haddon is going to milk. He could. A prolonged suffering, typically due to grappling, eventually ending in a sub. There we go. That's
just basically getting drowned, on the mat.
Yeah. All right, guys. Here we go. Let's see who's going to be the piping. Guys. Wake up. It's a tie ball game right now.
Come on, get in there.
We need somebody. We can't have two milking. I mean, we could, but preferably one. 10 seconds and we're gonna end this. It's literally tied. 10.
Come on, 9, you guys. Get 8, in there. Vote.
7. Yeah, Jillian versus Dern. That's gonna be a good fight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Still tied. You guys killing me. It's now tied at 29% apiece. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. I gotta go to bed. I woke up at like 8 o'clock this morning. Can we vote, please? The tie at 30%, and then it's a tie at 29%. Okay, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Okay. Yes. Finally. They woke up. All right, and it's actually all close, man. In fourth place, Jackie Amarine with 20%.
Okay.
And a tie for second place, Ding Ming at 24%. And a tie for second place, Luis Diaz at 24%. And believe it or not, Weezy, the milking of the week is going to be the very consistent, the very trustworthy Alex Perez.
Wow. Okay. All right.
To milk. How do you spell his name?
SUMUDAERJI.
I think I got it. I just typed a bunch of random letters. The milk of the week.
Yeah. That's perfect.
I just typed a bunch of the milk of the week is Alex Perez to milk Sumidarji. There we go. That's surprising. I didn't know people would pick Alex Perez. I thought for sure people would go with Luis Diaz, Weezy. So yeah, the milking of the week is Alex Perez to milk Sumidarji. Yeah, to who be fair has been milked plenty of times. So
yeah,
we'll see. That ain't hitting. Come on, it's gonna hit, man. Let's go. Come on, it's the milking. It's the milking. All right, so now it is time for the piping, and we have so many options, Wheezy. So, what is your first option for piping of the week?
Piping of the week, very easy options. I'll start with Zhang Min Yang. Because if he wins, obviously he's going to knock him out.
Yep. I think it's a great option. I think a lot of these on the main card could be a piping. I'm going to go with the other kind of obvious one, Sergey Pavlovich.
Yeah, that's the big boys. They hit hard here. What would be another good one here? I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball here. Okay. I'm going to go with the Chinese Jessica Andrade, Zhang Jingnan, because she swings hammers.
She does.
And Angela Hill, even though black don't crack, Brady, she is 41 and a half years old. And I am seeing the father time start to maybe take away some of that durability just a little bit. So let's throw the 38-year-old debutante in there in Zhang Jingnan
to be the first one to ever knock out Angela Hill. Now that I think about it, there's not a lot of pipings, to be honest.
Besides the two heavyweight, light heavyweight ones.
Yeah, I actually don't. So I think somebody's getting piped in the Ding Ming fight. Could go Ding Ming, but I'm going to go with somebody that's getting a freaking layup. I mean, this guy's wide open, right next to the freaking basket. Nobody's in sight. I mean, they're giving Kai Asakura. This guy's who's getting a layup this week. So give me Kai Asakura to make this layup. It's wide open, man. Is Kai Asakura good at basketball, Weezy?
Probably not.
God. Oh God, it's not good.
How many Japanese stars are there in the NBA? If you think about it, it's not a country that is strong for basketball.
Oh gosh, oh God. So, but it's a layup. I mean, it's a layup. So we'll see. All right, let's go. Perez can definitely milk him. He could definitely. He could. I mean, Perez can make this look so easy if he fights with a good game plan. Who is Luis Diaz? We're about to find out this Saturday. I mean, that fight's brutal. Teixeira getting piped. Luis Diaz. The stars are aligned. Sack milking was destined. Yeah, I thought you guys would pick Luis Diaz, but you guys went with Alex Perez. Cody Haddon made pipe by Ori. Yeah, he could.
Yeah, that could happen.
Pipes will be served this weekend. Yes, thank you. Read my mind. All right, while you guys vote for that, let's talk some underdog, Weezy. Sure. Right now, if the people go to Underdog Fantasy and use code DFSBTN, they'll get $50 in bonus funds when you play with your first $5 lineup. So let's talk some underdog. I have not checked it yet, but we'll take a look live on air. Oh, God. Figgy with 51.5 significant strikes? What?
Yeah, they're thinking it's going to go 5 rounds if that's the case.
It can go 10 rounds. I mean, what?
Yeah, Figgy only lands 2.63 significant strikes per minute. So he would need 20 minutes to get that many significant strikes.
Yeah, give me the lower on that. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, the Umar fight could have went 15 rounds and he still wouldn't have hit that.
Yeah, and especially if he is trying to wrestle, that's going to reduce his ability to land significant strikes as well. And then the one that I liked was I'm going with Yi Sak Lee lower than 36.5 significant strikes because I think he's going to get submitted in round number 1
in 60 seconds.
And I think that this is going to be mostly a grappling match. And if it isn't, I think he might get knocked out on the feet because, in my opinion, this guy Diaz should be minus 300 just based on strength of schedule alone. these guys are not fighting in the same universe of level of competition on the regional scene. So, I think Isak Lee's going to get finished here, and I don't think he's getting 37 or more significant strikes. So
I like that. So I like those two because, like you said, this guy's probably going to get finished. Somebody's going to get finished there, but I think Diaz should smoke him. And then I like the Figgy because Figgy doesn't do anything. Looking at the takedowns here. Oh, Figgy 1.5 take. Like Figgy can get 2 takedowns against Song Yadong. He's probably not going to hold him down, but Figgy can get 2 takedowns.
And he's probably going to mix them in. And then I was also looking at Amarim, less than 2.5, lower than 2.5, because they got her at 2.5, right?
Yep.
And she's not a good wrestler at all. So I don't think she's going to be able to get takedowns in the second half of this fight, and she might only need one. She
only needs one. She's never gotten 3.
Yeah.
Yep, I like that. What else do we got? Holy crap. Cody had an 82.5. Jeez.
That's a huge number. Like, I could bring up my database and tell you how often that happens.
Probably. I mean, that's a big number.
2026 UFC database. And we go to the 135-pound division, and I can use my little calculator to determine how many times fighters in the history of this division in 3-round fights have went over that number.
Mm-hmm.
While my thing brings it up here. So men's 135. What was the number?
82.5.
Jeez, such a big number. So the winning fighter gets over 82.5 significant strikes in a 3-round fight only 13.75% of the time. And on the average, that number is beaten only 9% of the time. So just that if you take any random bantamweight fighter in a 3-round fight, they are only scoring more than 83 or more significant strikes 9 out of 100 times. So that's a huge number to go over.
Yeah, it is. But his volume
need extended distance striking exchanges. You're going to need no takedowns, no clinch time, and no early finishes.
Yeah. White and Ngannou for the piping. Angela Hill's an underdog. She is.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a chance. No picks for the Asian Andrade. She's not as handsome as Andrade, I think, is the problem.
Yeah, that is the problem.
Nobody is.
And I went a little bit contrarian there, so there were better options.
Yeah, there weren't as many options as I thought because there's a lot of milkings. Isak Lee is flat-footed. He's a lot of things, man. I don't. He's a lot
flat as a flapjack. It's amazing that he can even walk.
I couldn't believe what I was watching. Like I was like, am I researching the right guy? Is did they make a mistake? This can't be it. This is not Isak Lee, right? This guy?
He's got a giant cross on his back, and that's the only way I was able to tell it was him. I'm like, oh, the guy's got the cross on his back, so that's Lee. All right, and boy, he stinks in this fight too.
Oh gosh. All right, there better not be it's not even close. So there's no tie. Oh my gosh. All right. So the piping of the week in 4th place with 0%, the very handsome Zhang Jingyang. In 3rd place, Kai Asakura with 11%. In 2nd place at 17%, Zhang Mingyang. And in 1st place, by far and away, it's not even close, Weezy, 72%, which I don't think it's ever been that crazy. Sergey Pavlovich.
Makes sense. If you can't get Tai Tuivasa out of there, you're going to have a really hard time with Pavlovich.
Yeah. Teixeira on site. So we got to bounce back from Malcolm Wellmaker. So the piping of the week is Sergey Pavlovich to pipe Dallas Teixeira on site. The milking of the week is Alex Perez to milk Sumadarji. Typically, you guys do well with these, so hopefully they both come through. All right, we went 3 hours, Wheezy. I don't know what happened.
I don't know how.
We didn't even do a recap for last week's card.
We're having too much fun. Just way too much fun.
We got to stop it. Yeah. But all right, guys, gonna kick it to Wheezy. Wheezy, any special guest appearances? I had one this week with Clint. You do anything special, and also let people know where they can find you and support you.
Yeah, if anybody would have asked me to step in on short notice for this card, I probably would have said no. It's I feel like I could use another week off, but I'm going to be debuting some new graphics either this week or next week on Balls Deep Breakdowns. And I think it's really going to take my fight breakdowns to the next level. So keep an eye out on my YouTube channel for this week. Next week, you're going to see some tease content on what's coming down the pipeline for my content going forward, Brady. And I've noticed yours as well. Like the graphics on your content, man, have been phenomenal lately. And
yeah, I fired my old graphics guy.
Yeah, there you go, dude. You know, sometimes you can hire a new one and they can make all the difference in the world. So I think it's going to make a difference for both of us. And I should have something ready for us next week for Stat Diggers, Brady. I think it's going to blow people away. But yeah, check me out on YouTube at Uncle Weezy, on Rumble at Uncle Weezy, on X at MMA Weezy. You can find my probability stats and content package, which is going to be taken to the next level over these next couple of weeks on oddshopper.com. That's going to give you access to my stats, my fight write-ups, my track bets, my Discord, all my subscriber-only content, and some really phenomenal fight breakdowns going forward where you're going to see some amazing graphics and, you know, the kind of stats that you're not going to find anyplace else. So that's the best place to support me. Looking to stack cash tickets like flapjacks on this UFC Macau card.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm gonna have way too much action on this card, man. I thought I'd only have like one bet, and the one bet was gonna be one unit on Song Yadong at minus 550 to win a quarter unit. But after researching the fights, a lot of stuff sticking out. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, there we go. Appreciate you guys. 104 likes. There we go. Got 100 likes.
Let's
Heck
go.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
How
All
many
right,
live viewers?
About 300 between X and YouTube.
Not bad.
Could be better.
But it's not the greatest card.
Yeah.
And it's a holiday. And it's 1 o'clock in the morning, 1:30.
Yeah.
You know, we got the diehards hanging out with us.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Leave a like on your way out, subscribe. And then do want to shout out the sponsors one more time. Shout out to the Big Brain MMA Discord, Big Steve. Shout out to Underdog. They are the reason that this show's continuing. Without them, we wouldn't be here.
We'd be chilling, spending time with our families.
We'd be doing other things. So
yeah.
Shout out to the sponsor and shout out to you guys as well. Appreciate you guys for showing up. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon. See you later. Best of luck for UFC Macau. See ya.